let me explain what we're doing here. This is pretty much me going through all my social media threads that I've kept throughout the year of all the media I consume, from books, movies, TV shows, podcasts, video games. So each thread is going to be specifically, it's going to go movies, TV shows, video games, and then books/podcasts. Books and podcasts are in the same category because I am incapable of reading most books due to my vision, so I have to listen to a lot of audiobooks. There's some books you'll be able to tell you'll be able to tell some books are like not audiobooks because they're children's books typically because they have a lot of pictures, or they're comic books. So those obviously won't be audiobooks, but you'll be able to identify which ones are and are not audiobooks, or I'll straight up say it if I think about it. And then podcasts, because I didn't feel like making a whole other separate threads for podcasts and audiobooks. They're very similar, so they're in the same thread there, and I don't listen to as much of that. Then I'm going to see what my opinion was on the media that we're looking at, and then I'm going to explain my thought process and kind of see where I landed on what I thought about it. And then I'm also going to give it a rating of 1 to 10. I already gave it a rating of 1 to 10 on the initial post of what the media I consumed was, but I'm going to reevaluate it, see if it stays where it is, or if I should deduct a point from it, or more than just a point. Like, we'll either raise it higher or lower. I do like to think my opinions don't line up with most people's typically. I've noticed it's not like me trying to be contrarian or anything like that. It's more so along the lines of trying my best not to look at others' opinions on the media I consume until after I consumed it, so I'm not influenced by what other people say. I mean, it's unavoidable, like you're gonna see it sometimes, so my opinions do get swayed a little bit. But I typically, like, especially when it's older media I've never interacted with, I tend to go in pretty blindly. And then one rule I'm going to do is I'm going to deduct a 0.5 if I find the piece of media just very forgettable. Because, like, if I don't have anything of value to really say about it, and due to me unable to remember it, I'm just going to deduct a 0.5 by default. I feel like that's easier and that's a fair way without me, like, unfairly destroying it or, like, hyping it up kind of deal. And granted, I did watch a lot of these late at night, like between the hours of 1 in the morning and 3 in the morning type deal. So, just heads up there is all. And I think that's a good enough explanation. We're going to hop into what we're doing now, starting off with the movies. Oh, one last thing I need to mention is if I have any parentheses that says rewatched or reread or replayed or whatever, it's pretty obvious that isn't my first time experiencing the piece of media. It's just like, oh, I revisited this, and that's something I should say. These are 100% completed unless specified otherwise. Like, these are like, I watched it all the way through, I played it all the way through. I shouldn't say 100% because I didn't 100% any of the video games unless that's specified as well, because the video games will have parentheses with the 100% in it as well. And I don't remember if I 100% any games this year, but you'll see later on, and I'll go into greater detail with that. Of course, we're gonna go with the biggest one. I basically, right after watching it in 2024, I was like, I gotta watch it again. It was such a freaking banger. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I mean, it has flaws. It's still the best out of the Sonic trilogy, without a doubt. Like, I love that movie. It's easily it's a banger. I'm excited to see what 4 is going to come from. I don't really have a lot to say. I feel like I just kind of repeat what I said last year if I had anything to say. I am not joking. I've been trying so hard to rewatch it a third time this year, and I was like, no, I gotta wait until I get the 4K Blu-ray. And then I couldn't afford it because it was stupid expensive. I was seeing it for like $40-50, and then it was like, sometimes when I would see it on sale for like 20 or something, I'm like, I just can't afford it. Don't have that kind of money right now. And then I got lucky and saw it on eBay for $13. I was like, oh no, I have to throw money and buy it now. So I got it for like 13. Oh, you know what? No, it wasn't eBay. It was the Evil Bald Man site. I bought it off of there. But I was looking at it on eBay for 15. That's right. But I bought it from there, and I still haven't been able to afford. The moment I got it in the mail, I was like, oh frick yeah, I'm gonna watch this. I was like, you know what? I should wait and watch this with some family, because I know some family members who would love to watch this with me. And then I held off, and then they just kept postponing, and then life got in the way. And it was just one thing after another, and I was like, you know what? I just didn't get the chance to watch it in 2025. It's probably gonna be like one of the first movies I watch in 2026, though. Can't promise that, but that's the plan at least. Anyways, I don't really think I have anything to change about the rating. I think an 8 out of 10. Honestly, nostalgia is not the proper word because it was only a year ago, but I kind of want to say the nostalgia makes me want to up it to an 8.5, but I feel because I'm so overly critical, I'd probably reduce it if I watched it again. But who knows? I'm gonna watch it soon again, so you'll see. Just keep an eye on the social media threads. It's on all the platforms. You can find the links in bios, by the way, if you want to see these happen in real time. Because like as soon as I finish a piece of media, I update it then and there. It's rare that I miss a moment because I'll either forget. I'll tell you when that happens because that actually happened for the first time this year. Or in 2025 it happened. I'll let you know when we get to that point though, because it was at the very end. Anyways, yeah, if you want to see these live in action, I'm gonna stick with an 8 out of 10 for Sonic 3 though, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And on to number 2, Dogman. Okay, which hedgehog would you fry at first? Both of them equally. Oh, what's up, Mint? How you doing, dude? I will also say best video game movie, even though some bangers came out. Honestly, yeah, I feel like I could get behind that. I don't think I would. With Sonic 3, I think I could easily say that it's still the best video game adaptation out there right now. Who knows? I could change my opinion on that because who knows? Sonic 4 could either be absolute dog crap or it could be even better than 3 because who knows? Sonic is such a hit or miss with that. And you know, I'm terrified of what Hollywood's gonna do to 4 because Sega's been straying away from making Amy like her character. Like almost everyone agrees that Sega has been butchering her characterization lately, and now that Hollywood's getting a hold of Amy, I'm like, oh god, it's game over. She's done for. They are going to murder this character. There's no way they're gonna have like any cute moments between her and Sonic. It just give up on having any hope for that. But I really hope I'm wrong and hope they come in clutch with Amy. And like they don't even have to have Amy straight up like Sonic. They could do a role reversal to where Sonic likes Amy. I think that'd be almost a bit more fitting for Sonic's persona. But I wouldn't like to see that, honestly. I think it's more fun when Amy is dotting is the right word? Wants Sonic more. I think that's kind of a bit more fun. It's a little more, a little less cliche. But anyways, let's go on to number 2 with Dogman. She should be Sonic Boom Amy. See, I think that's kind of where I would hit to Rocket, because I feel like Boom Amy is like that nice in-between to where she still very clearly crushes on Sonic, but she's an individual at the same time. I really think Sonic X Amy is kind of where I would like it, but I think that's more of a nostalgia bias than a genuine understanding, because I also haven't seen Sonic X in God knows how long. Okay, if I yap too long on this video is going to take ages. So we're going to go into we're going to go into number 2. All right, so Dogman 2 was an interesting movie. I had no prior knowledge of Dogman other than it was made by Dave Pikely, and I loved the freaking Captain Underpants books and the movie. It was such an underrated film. I hate that it didn't do well. And Dogman's, I don't know how it did financially, but it was a fun movie. It's definitely got repetitive. I don't really have, I want to rewatch it again this year. So I think that does show the quality of the movie. The animation was fun. It was clever. It was a cute movie. It had a good story. You know, for what it was, I enjoyed watching it. Like, heck, it made me watch I think it was like an internet archive version of the Dogman musical. It was like a 30-minute, 45-minute retelling of the first book, which was what the movie was based off of. It was solid. I mean, anyways, the movie, I recommend it. The humor does get a little stale at some points, a little repetitive. Kind of got fed up with it. Not fed up with it. Like, I wasn't sour towards it, but I was like, okay, you're kind of repeating yourself too much here. But it was a solid movie. I would not lower it. I think a 7 out of 10 is very solid. I would almost go 7.5 if it wasn't for the repetition of the jokes near the end. On to number 3. I'm kind of half and half on this, not in the sense of like how I felt about it, but I'm not into the MCU anymore. I think everyone kind of fell off after Endgame. I tried to stick to it. They just kept doing disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. It's hard to give a crap after a while, you know? So sometimes, and I know my opinions are kind of busted on movies sometimes, because like you'll understand why. I think it was last year. I gave what was it? I'm completely brain farting. It was so forgettable. The most recent Thor movie, not Love and Thunder, but the one after that, the 4th Thor movie. I enjoyed that, and then I found out everyone hated it. I'm like, okay, I understand why people hated it. And I'm coming from the same place as the Captain America movie. I understand why people hated it. It was a pretty just whatever, okay movie. And the marketing, I get it. They almost had to do the marketing that way if they wanted to get anyone's attention with Red Hulk. But oh my gosh, it murders the ending, like drastically. Sorry for spoilers, I guess, but like if you even saw this movie even remotely promoted, the ending was just thrown out there to everybody to see. So it was like whatever at this point. It was fine. The action was sick. The story was pretty forgettable, honestly. I don't really remember all that much about it, so I enjoyed it, but I think I'm gonna have to drop it to a 6 in all honesty. So yeah, Captain America Brave New World is a 6 out of 10 for me. I don't know if I said it for Dogman, but Dogman's still a 7 out of 10 as well. Ooh, okay, so on to number 4, Dead Rising Watchtower. I don't know how the fans feel about this. I'm not huge into the Dead Rising franchise. I've played 2, and I've played a good chunk of 3, and I've played, I believe it was Dead Rising Zero Case. I played it later this year, you'll see that. I'm not huge into the franchise, but I did enjoy it. So when this, I never saw this movie, obviously, until this year. It's honestly, like, it was a solid movie. I enjoyed it. The fight, or the action was sick. It had a lot of, it felt like it had care about the source material put into it. Granted, it stuck too long in this one part of the movie. I was like, okay, you're overstaying your welcome in this area. And like they kind of were, they didn't go as crazy as they should have. Because if you know anything about Dead Rising, like a lot of the psychos are like a big appeal of it. And then the villain was such a cookie cutter throwaway garbage character. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. If you care about Dead Rising, or if you just like a solid zombie movie, I'd recommend it. I enjoyed it. So for Dead Rising Watchtower, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's still a really solid movie. Recommend it. With number 5, Mickey 17. So the funny thing is, me and a family member were actually going to go see this movie. I forgot how to pronounce it. It's like Inze or something like that. It was a Chinese animated film. It was I think it was the first one or the second one. I don't remember. I think it was the first one. It's like the top grossing movie in the world, I believe. Like, China loves this film. I wish I could remember the name of it, but we were going to go see that. We went to, it was the sequel. We were going to go watch it. We walked into the theater and realized it was only subtitled, and I can't see subtitles, so we had to leave, and we're like, well, that sucks. I was looking forward to this movie. But we told the theater guys, and we're like, yeah, you guys can get your money back. That's understandable. But, you know, if you want, you can just go see another movie, too. And we're like, yeah, why not? So we went to go see some Mickey 17, because it was just like, sure, I guess. I mean, we were both kind of interested in it. It's whatever. I mean, the acting was really good in it, but the plot just like, it just kind of kept going places that I just did not care. Like, I'm all for out there stories that are willing to tell some insane like ideas, but it just wasn't interesting, and it just, I don't know. I would drop this to a 5.5 almost. It was just whatever. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone unless you're just really into Robert Pattinson or sci-fi, I guess. It's fine. It's nothing phenomenal by any means. I don't know if that's a popular opinion or not. I didn't really see many people talk about this movie. I heard it didn't do well financially at all, though, which honestly is pretty deserved, which sucks because, like, original movies are... You want to see more of them. I'm granted, this is based off a book, but it wasn't another sequel or a spin-off or anything, so, you know... But anyways, with the 6th movie of the year, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. I don't, saying that as a full title is just ridiculous. But any animation fan on the internet knew that this was a big deal. Like, a 2D animated movie in the theaters, that's kind of insane. We don't get that a lot anymore. And then it came out, and like, the internet has a habit of believing if it is well animated, it's by default really good piece of media, or it's a really good show or movie. I'm like, no. It was greatly animated. It was fun to watch and look at. But its humor just didn't really do it for me. Like, the slapstick is funny, because it's hard to screw up slapstick, right? But the jokes, like, they were either modern jokes or like the speaking jokes, they just weren't very clever or funny. I still think the funniest joke in that whole movie was where, I don't even remember his name, but Daffy and Porky's father figure just walks into the sunset and disappears, and then like shows up as a PNG in the sky, and it's pretty goofy. It was so just out of pocket and funny. It's like it was supposed to be insinuated that he died. I found out that recently that he was supposed to just walk into the ocean and basically drown himself, but they thought that was too dark, which honestly, that's some bull crap. It's freaking Looney Tunes. That's not that dark. But anyways, yeah, besides it being 2D animated, it's a fine movie. I don't want to do it because it is a 2D animated movie. It is worth watching if you're a Looney Tunes fan, even a little bit. But I'm gonna have to do it to him. I know this isn't a popular opinion. I'm gonna drop it to a 6 out of 10. I still liked it. It's just not something I would greatly recommend unless you love 2D animation and or Looney Tunes. I am excited for the Wile E. Coyote versus Acme though. Granted, that's a live action hybrid, but you know, I believe the cartoon parts are animated, like 2D animated. Not 100% on that one though. That one may be 3D. I don't want to deep dive. I feel like I'm blabbering too much already on the topics, or I'm sticking too long to some of these. Like some of these aren't really worth talking about. Dead Rising Endgame, it was a bad sequel. It was fine. The cinematography and action were good. That's kind of where I drew the line. It was a whatever movie that was really lacking in a lot of Dead Rising's heart. It did the cool crafted weapons thing, but you know, that's whatever. I think that 5 out of 10 is justifiable. I don't have anything else to say about that. Let's move on to number 8. I get it. I genuinely understand why people did not like the Minecraft movie. Was not a good representation of Minecraft. It was not what Minecraft should be, but I liked it. If you know anything, like I do not care for Napoleon Dynamite, that kind of humor. I don't find it very funny. Like, not of my era, whatever. It was just a stupid movie, but it was made by the guy who made Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Sorry, who directed those? I don't remember his name, but and he did this, which is an interesting choice, and I think it did play in his favor because like they did the whole like workaround to where it's a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie. So they kind of cheated the system to where this isn't like the definitive Minecraft movie. This is like a crap post with a multi-million-dollar budget, which is insane, but like it was a funny crap post, and I think they knew what they were doing. It has a lot of flaws. It's not a great movie, but it was genuinely funny and it was entertaining, which I think it's okay to have an occasionally slop movie, you know, that is entertaining. Not everything has to be highbrow, The Godfather, you know? And I think for what they were aiming for, they did a good job. Is this a definitive Minecraft movie experience? Not even close. It really, this should not have been the introduction to a Minecraft. Like the most beloved video game in the world, this should not have been the introduction to the movie universe. Like, we should have gotten an animated one, or honestly, I would have freaking loved like a 3D animated Minecraft movie. That would have kicked major butt. But they went with this weird thing, and I didn't hate it. Still, I'm gonna stick with that 8 out of 10, honestly. I should rewatch it because my opinion will probably change, honestly. But I'm gonna stick with that 8 out of 10. Ooh, Lights Out. Not like this magnificent, like, 10, obviously it's not a 10 out of 10 horror film. It takes a very obvious premise for horror, you know, like the lights are out. That's scary. Everyone's afraid of the dark to some extent. Not so much the dark itself, but what's inside the dark, and it plays off that greatly. I don't really have a lot to say. It's a little forgettable. I mean, I won't lie, but the ending has stuck in my head, so I will say, I don't think it's the beginning and ending explicitly are very memorable. I can piece all the scenes in my head together, just not in a coherent sequence, but I think it's memorable enough to where I don't think it's deserving of a reduced 0.5, so I'm gonna keep that 7 out of 10. Don't really have a lot to say about it, but you know, if you're afraid of the dark, don't watch this movie because you'll be pooping yourself. You'll be watching out of the corner of your eyes for a hot minute. I knew I was for a few days. Okay, Tropic Thunder. I won't get into what a lot of people say about this movie, because I mean, granted, it's partly true, but it's not a funny movie. I did not find it humorous. I find extreme vulgarity just obnoxious more than anything. Like, it's not inherently bad per se. Like, I just think it's lazy, And this, like, it wasn't even like funny vulgarity. It was just that for the sake of that. And like, I get the premise of the movie was far more interesting than the execution. I think if they took this same premise and tried to redo it again, maybe not in modern times, because that would suck. But like, if there was some way to do it, I think that could be interesting. But with what we got, I didn't care. It felt like wasted potential. Like I said, I'm gonna stick. Trying to think, do I remember much about it? Honestly, I like, kind of with Lights Out, I'm able to piece pieces and bits here and there together, but it wasn't that memorable of an experience. I think I'm gonna have to drop it to a 5 out of 10. It was like, I don't hate vulgar comedy if it's done right. It's just, I don't think it was done right here. It wasn't a very entertaining movie, and the fact that it had Stiller, Jack Black, and Downey Jr. in it, it's kind of crazy to me. And then there's like, the humor wasn't that funny with those 3 guys in it, so I was like, I'm okay. I'm gonna drop it to a 5 out of 10. This is such a sharp contrast between Tropic Thunder and then we're going to the King of Kings. That really goes to show the variety in films I watch, I guess. So I'm not 100% certain if this is true, but the King of Kings, not that it's true, I should say, but I remember posting this review on social media, online. I don't want to say the site just in case YouTube doesn't want me to say it, but I remember posting it and seeing that one of the people, I think it was someone involved with the making of this movie, liking my tweet. And then they were just like, I think they liked it before reading it, because then they read it and then they unliked it. And I looked at their profile because I was curious. I'm like, oh, that's weird, they unliked it. And I'm nosy like that. And I think they were a person involved in the art direction of this movie, and I felt kind of bad afterwards. But let's be real here. This movie's ugly. I do not like the way these characters looks. Charles Dickens is the only character that's like not like kind of repulsive looking in some way, which I get having stylization and it works. It's not like a ugly movie to look at. I just don't like the way these characters look. Like, these characters don't have to be hot anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you can have a good looking character, like, stylistically, without them just coming off as like almost uncanny. Aside from the look of the movie, the premise of Charles Dickens telling his kids the story of Jesus's time on Earth is such a cool concept, and it was done really well. It was really interesting. I recommend watching it. It was a fun time. It's an 8 out of 10. I don't really have anything to say other than it was ugly. It's a good movie. So yeah, The King of Kings is an 8 out of 10 to me. I should say, the reason I say I'm unsure if the person who liked the video or liked this tweet was a part of the art direction is because I'm not 100. I don't remember their name. I don't remember their profile picture or anything like that, so I can't confirm it. I wish I screenshotted it or something, or like dug through their profile more, or it could have just been someone trolling on the internet. I really don't know, but that's what I got from it. So I think it was genuinely someone a part of the film who liked it, read it, and then unliked it. So oops. Funny though. I hope they realize I like the movie at least. I know a lot of people are very mixed on modern SpongeBob. It's a lot of people who kind of grew up with the current SpongeBob, they like it, and then most people who grew up with the 90s SpongeBob and early 2000s SpongeBob hate it. I'm on the side of I like, sometimes there's clever humor in the modern SpongeBob. It has moments, but most of the time I feel like I'm getting a sensory overload just crammed into my head at all times, and it's genuinely just obnoxious to look at, and I find the writing painfully cringe a lot of the time, due to just being poorly written. Not always, because I have watched modern episodes that have made me laugh. Typically not. But with a show lasting this long, I don't blame them that much. But this movie, it's not great. It's really not. But I enjoyed it. Like, the visual gags were funny. I'm gonna be real, it's very forgettable. Granted, I think I watched this, like, I ended this movie at almost 3 in the morning, so I watched it pretty late, so I don't remember it very well, but I think I'm gonna have to drop it to a 6 out of 10, just because I really don't remember anything about this movie, other than I liked it and that there was slapstick was funny. It's other than that, it's whatever, you know. I'd recommend it if you care about SpongeBob, if you have a higher tolerance for modern SpongeBob, I guess. The music, I will say this, none of the music was good. I'm like, what even? Like, not the instrumentals. I'm talking about when the characters sing. Just just whatever garbage. Like, come on, man. SpongeBob has had some really solid bangers throughout the years, and you're just gonna completely drop the bomb on, if you, like, this is a silly comparison, but everyone knows if Plankton has like a crazy singing voice. If you've listened to some of those AI singing things, I don't know what to call them. Like, Plankton can sing. Like, come on, let's use his skills to the full capacity, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna drop the Plankton movie to a 6 out of 10. Sometimes the media is for young children and not for families, but we get into our way later with Zootopia doing the opposite. Exactly, Mochi. That's a good example, honestly. Like, I think if you were making a piece of media for children and you're not trying to apply to everyone, unless it's like freaking preschooler crap, you're being genuinely lazy and not trying. Kids don't deserve bad media just because they're kids. That's so unfair to them. Thunderbolts, Asterisk is the 13th movie I watched. It was fine. I don't care about it. It was just such a whatever movie to me. My opinion hasn't changed much about it. I hated the ending. Thought it was really stupid. They did this, spoiler warning, I guess, but it was such a, like, friendship is magic, friendship's gonna save the day kind of bullcrap, and I'm like, I get it, because the villain was such a huge threat. Doesn't make it any less stupid. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. I don't care. I don't know why people were hyping this movie like the crazy amount they were, but it was fine. It's 6 out of 10. I'm gonna stick to it. I think that's a valid rating for it. So I rewatched the Bob's Burgers movie. I watched this movie on a whim. I usually watch movies very intentionally. Like, I set time aside in my day to watch movies. I don't just like sitting there on the couch, I'm like, I'm gonna watch a movie. No, like, I have to set time aside because I'm usually working one way or another, usually on YouTube stuff or streaming stuff or short form content. I'm usually working in some matter one way or another, and so it's very rare that I'm just like, I'm just watch a movie. I was just sitting there with my mom in the living room, and I was like, you know what, I want to watch something. I just turned on the Bob's Burgers movie just for the heck of it. It's still a solid movie. I saw it in theaters the first time. I don't think I liked it as much as I did the first time watching it, but it's still a good time. The music, like, especially the first couple of songs, I wish I could remember things, but the first song that they sing, I don't remember the title of it, I still listen to that one regularly. And then Lucky Ducks that they sing with the Carnies, such a fun song. The murder mystery plot was boring. It felt kind of lazy. It felt like an outdated premise, but it was fine. It was a good movie. If you like 2D animation, granted, it's not like this mind-blowing 2D animation, but it's still worth a watch. Even if you aren't familiar with the Bob's Burgers franchise, I've seen episodes here and there, like you would watch it like 3 a.m. kind of deal, but I never really watched the show. But then I watched the movie, and I was like, I'm kind of digging this, so I watched a few more of the episodes. I haven't ever watched like a full season or anything like that, but it's worth a watch if you just like 2D animation and good songs. So yeah, I'll stick to a 7 out of 10. 15, The Croods. It was a whatever DreamWorks movie, crappy slapped together DreamWorks movie. It wasn't funny. It wasn't memorable. None of the characters were particularly likable besides Grug and the grandma. And the grandma's only likable because Grug wanted to kill her, and I thought that was kind of funny. Other than that, I think we're just gonna move on. I'm gonna drop it down to a 5 out of 10. I didn't even like this movie when it came out in theaters. Thought it was garbage. I was like, you know what? My opinion changes on movies because I hated the first Puss in Boots movie. I was like, you know what? Maybe I just didn't give it a fair shake. So I rewatched it. I was like, nope, it's still crap. I didn't care for it that much. It was very just whatever. Visually, it's very pretty. That's kind of it. So we're gonna go to a 5 out of 10 on The Croods. Resident Evil Degeneration. I'll be real, I don't remember this one very much. I watched it and my eyes glazed over while watching it. Not that I hated it or anything. It was just like, you ever just kind of watch a movie with the intention of fully watching it, and it just kind of passes by. That's what this movie felt like. I think I need to rewatch it one day because I think I didn't fully grasp what I was watching. I'm gonna drop it to a 6 out of 10 just because I really don't remember anything about it. I feel like I may have to drop it lower just for the sake of I do not remember it at all. But I'm gonna stick to my 0.5 rule until something really atrocious comes up, which I don't remember if anything has. So 6 out of 10 for now. Creep is an interesting one. It's not a very entertaining movie. Like, it's very slow paced. Like, you're just kind of watching things happen. It's more about atmosphere and vibe, kind of the same thing, but just watching it, it's supposed to unsettle you, and it does a great job at that. it's not all that entertaining while watching it, and it's pretty predictable. It's okay. I wouldn't highly recommend it to anyone. I wouldn't unrecommend it either. It's whatever, you know. 6 out of 10 for Creep is fine. Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold, it just wasn't a very good movie. It was fine. Like, I didn't hate it. I feel like that 6 out of 10 was me being a little generous. So it was whatever, you know. I didn't find it all that entertaining, which is disappointing because Batman and Scooby-Doo, how do you screw that up? So I think I'm gonna drop it to a 5 out of 10 because I really only remember the ending, and that was only because I fell asleep while watching it initially, and I had to go back and rewatch the ending. So I'm gonna go 5.5 out of 10 for Scooby-Doo and Batman the Brave and the Bold. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I don't even know which one. This was my first Mission Impossible movie, like, ever. Don't think I've watched any other one previously. I don't really have anything to say about it. It was a solid action movie. I just sat down and watched this with my dad one day. I think he just got home from the hospital, or it was a while ago. So this was in May. It was May 26th, so it was a hot minute ago, and I'm brain farting at the moment. I don't fully remember why, but I think my dad was just chilling on the couch. He was just watching a movie. I just sat down and we just kind of watched the whole movie, and that's very unusual for me to do. So we sat down and watched this. It was fine. It was a Mission Impossible movie, all right. I don't really have much to we watched 2 of them, but I didn't finish the second one, and I don't remember which one this is. I enjoyed the action. The action was sick. A lot, like, the characters were very much like, when you see a parody of action movies done online, or like just see anybody making fun of like action films, this is kind of what I picture it to be, but actually taken seriously. I'm gonna drop it to a 7 out of 10. If I remembered more of it, I think I'd probably stick to a 7.5, but I really don't. So I'm gonna go a 7 out of 10 for Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Karate Kid Legends. I am not very well engrossed in the Karate Kid franchise. Never cared for the movies growing up. And then one day I just picked up Cobra Kai as a suggestion from a family member. They kept saying, "Oh, you'll love it, you'll love it, you'll love it." I'm like, I doubt it. Their recommendations never fit my actual opinions on movies. They don't quite grasp what I enjoy watching all that much. But then I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot because my family watches it in the living room a lot. And then I was like, okay, this show's freaking kick butt. It's so freaking good. I loved it. I'm a side tangent from Cobra Kai. Karate Kid Legends, very different. Like, the only real correlation to it is near the end. Spoilers, kind of, not really. I won't say what it is. But this was just a solid movie. Like, I think this is my first, like, Karate Kid movie I genuinely really enjoyed. It had this weird kind of style to it that you wouldn't expect, especially near the end, and the fighting areas that were really cool. The fighting was great. The choreography was great. The story was interesting. I think it would have done a little better if it was stretched out a little more, like just a little longer, kind of develop some of these relationships a little more, give them a bit more justification for the way they felt. But and the lack of music identity absolutely killed me. Like, oh my gosh, like all the I don't know about all the other ones, but at least the first Karate Kid movie had strong music identity, and then this one just kind of felt like whatever, like generic music you would like think to associate with New York, and that was kind of it. I was like, the music sucked. I mean, it wasn't all garbage. There was a couple songs I added to my playlist, but it wasn't like this magnificent, like, this didn't feel like an iconic song like you would hope, because everything else about this movie is so freaking good. I'm gonna stick to that 9.5 out of 10. Highly recommend it, even if you're not a fan of Karate Kid. If you haven't seen any other piece of Karate Kid media, I would still really recommend this one. Heck, I got this movie on 4K. I do not buy 4K movies unless the movie is genuinely deserving of it. So this is Love, Chinibyo, and Other Delusions, Rika's version. This is really just a retelling of season 1 of the show. This is just kind of a way for, like, when I just don't want to, like, I have the entire series on Blu-ray. Like, I have seasons 1, 2, I have the Rika's version, and I have the Take On Me Blu-ray. I have the whole series on Blu-ray. Like, I have the whole collection. I love this series. This is just kind of a way, if you just want to get a burst of that series, or like a retelling, to kind of just like get the vibe of the show, kind of enjoy it without having to rewatch all of season 1 again. It's a good way of that, but I really felt like it was lacking in a lot of identity. Like, it says Rika's version, so you're thinking, oh, I get to see Rika's point of view on some of this stuff. That's really exciting. And then it's just like little tiny things that are like irrelevant, or like really just kind of whatever, just to sell a freaking compilation of season 1. So it's just whatever. I mean, it's fine. I liked it because it's season 1, and season 1's the best season. But besides that, it's not that special. It's really just me being biased towards Chinibyo. It's just a good show. I'll stick to that 7 out of 10. Good lord, Alone in the Dark. I'm not familiar with the games, but the movie I know had nothing to do with the games. Like, holy crap, this was just the sloppiest, just most unentertaining movie. It's incredibly forgettable. I don't remember jack squat about this film other than it just unholily boring. That doesn't make much sense, but it sucked. It was not worth the time. It had one really cool action scene at the beginning with this cool like slow-mo bullet effect, even though it was very dated CGI. That's it. I'm dropping it to a 1.5. It's just it's not worth talking about any further. So 1.5 out of 10. Oh, this was a good one. I mean, I will say mildly forgettable. I watched it pretty late into the night again though, so that's a little unfair on its end. Very pretty animation. The lighting and the world, the environments, just a eye candy. The dialogue felt like very engrossing. Like you felt like you were genuinely listening to conversations a lot of the time. It didn't feel like that like cheesy anime conversation. Oh yeah. The lips. I hated the lips. They were just uncomfortable to look at. Like, I know that's like a weird complaint to have, but when you're distracted by these characters' mouths talking all the time, I'm like, bro, stop. It's just it's not nice to look at. I hate it. It was a good movie though. I would recommend it if you like romance at all. Just be aware it's not it likes to tug at the heartstrings kind of movie. Due to the forgettability of it though, I remember key parts, but I don't remember a lot of it. I feel like, just to be fair to my rules, I'm gonna stick to that 7.5 out of 10. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for Lost in Starlight. Here, I didn't realize that Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I did not realize that this was like, they did the anime very weirdly, to where they do one season, then they did 3 movies, and then they did another season, and then they're ending on another movie. And basically to kind of like sum up the whole series. Or not sum up the whole series, but like the way they pace it out is very funky, and I didn't realize they did it like that. It's good, like, once you understand that, but like at first initially, like watching it threw me off really weirdly. I didn't understand what was going on for a second. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. I judged this more as like a full-on movie before I realized that it was a continuation of the season 1, essentially. But yeah, it's enjoyable. I liked it. Don't watch it unless you've seen Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Like, you have to watch these. You cannot watch these independently. You have to watch them one after the other, or it's confusing. I have these all rated in order because I watched them in order. So if you don't know about this series, that's a good, it's an easy Google search. You can see which ones to watch in which order. I'm gonna keep it out of 7/10. There's just not much to say about it because you have to watch the show to watch it. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. It was like, it's sadder than you'd expect it to be. So this one's interesting. I'm gonna be real. I don't usually watch anything for actors. I don't like actors. 90% of the time, I don't give half a hoot about these people. But, I was like, I like Norman Reedus. I like him as Daryl in The Walking Dead. I heard that this was written, or it was made by the guy who wrote The Walking Dead. So I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. It's not worth your time. It's like, the premise is cool, but it's so boring to watch. Not much happens throughout the entire movie, and anything that does happen is very much just what you'd expect. It's whatever. I'm sticking to a 5.5 out of 10. I don't recommend it unless you're just a major fan of Norman Reedus. Otherwise, you can bounce. I don't remember this guy's name. I don't remember either of the characters' names in the movie, that's for sure. I'm bad with actors, though. I wish I liked Barbie. I thought it was going to be a good movie. I heard it had musical segments. I was all hyped up for it. I loved the sets, the absurdism of it all. It's such a fun concept. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh, if it wasn't for Oppenheimer, this movie would have almost no cultural relevancy, I don't think, because it was so forgettable and just whatever. It was just kind of stupid. It was fine. I didn't hate it by any means. It had a couple silly chuckle moments, but I was just like, I was disappointed in the lack of creativity for what it was, because it felt like it was supposed to be far more creative by what I heard people talk about it. I love the set designs for Barbie Land and all that. And like the musical parts, and like some of the story was funny, but I was just like, I felt like I was watching like a TV show with a really large budget. I wouldn't bother with it. It was fine. I'm Just Ken is still one of my favorite songs to listen to on occasion, so it has a banger from there. I feel like the songs they used were just kind of like they didn't naturally come into play. Like, I guess maybe that was intentional, but it didn't sound great to me. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, though. It just 6.5 out of 10. I don't have anything else to say there. I'm so half and half on Superman, because like it was a genuinely great movie. I really enjoyed everything I watched about it. It was just the action was great. It was a great representation of Superman. Really, the only negatives I have to say about it is that there was just so many other superheroes in there, and they played great into the plot of Superman. I get it. It did work. We don't need another origin of Superman or anything like that. We all know Superman's origin. It's more so just wanted to see more of Superman in the Superman movie. It's still a great movie. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I didn't like how humorous it was, because it didn't, like, not that humor in it is bad per se, but it felt like Marvel humor, and that's what hurts it. But it was still funny. It was enjoyable. I think that 8 out of 10 is very deserved. And I don't remember the actor's name, but the guy who played Superman did a great job too. The casting overall was very good. I was surprised at how well the casting was. So 8 out of 10 for Superman. James Gunn's. This one was interesting. I watched this with a family member. Like, we watch horror movies pretty regularly. Trick or Treat, it was like an anthology that all interconnected to telling one story. It was fine. I wasn't very interested in it like the entire time I was watching it, but I did enjoy it. It had it was fine. Like, it has some cool twists. I'm kind of going everywhere with my thought process here. I didn't love it. It's considered a bit of a cult classic, I think, but I didn't love it like I thought I would. I didn't know anything going into this. I just thought the box art was cool. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. The anthology was cool. I liked what they were going for. Some of the plots were a little stupid and just kind of whatever. I think the 6 out of 10 is fitting. Just fair warning there. Don't watch this unless you're an adult. And anytime I have an adult rate, anytime I'm watching anything with an R rating, or like not always an R rating, because sometimes it's not worth mentioning. Sometimes it's just for like strong language or something. But if it's like strong R rating, I'm gonna emphasize that in the post. I watched All-Star Superman solely because I heard that it was not connected to James Gunn's Superman, but it was all James Gunn's Superman took inspiration from All-Star Superman. I've seen it before. Oh, that's upsetting. I didn't realize. I did not put rewatch on this, but I have seen it before. It was fine. I didn't care for it all that much. It's a very it's a fine Superman movie, very forgettable, but it wasn't like terrible or anything. It was like, it's, if you just want some Superman in for you to enjoy in the day, that it's not a bad watch. Kind of forgettable. You have to understand Superman as a character to watch it. I think you can't go into it like, hey mom, watch this Superman movie, and she has no idea anything about Superman other than like the bare bones, he can fly and he's strong kind of deal. She'll be very confused there, but it's fine. It's nothing really notable, nothing worth degrading it for. It's a very 6.5 out of 10 movie. Since it's forgettable, I do want to drop it to a 6 out of 10, so I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 for All-Star Superman. So we're kind of going out of order here, technically, kind of. I was watching Kim Possible, the series, in chronological order. So this movie came up while I was watching it. It's a rewatch. It's very much a made-for-TV movie. It was a big deal when it first happened. Other than that, it's fine. It felt like just an elongated episode, essentially. It's fun. It's a cool epic event for what it was. Not a lot to really say about it. 6.5 out of 10. It's worth watching if you watch the TV show. Ooh, Decay. This is a hard movie to watch because it's very uncomfortable. It's just there to just make you squirm in your seat due to what is going on. And I won't go too deep into it, but it's basically about a man who Basically, a few girls break into his house. I don't remember the full context to why, but they break in, and while he's out, and then one of these girls falls and cracks her skull on like a corner or something like that, and dies. And when he gets there, he finds her corpse, and he's mentally challenged, and I don't know if they ever specified how, but he's not all together. He's not like I don't know how to word it properly, but he's not all together in the sense. So he essentially just kind of hides her body, and over time falls in love with this corpse because he doesn't have anybody else in his life. And sorry, that was a major spoiler. I should have said otherwise. But it's just watch it. As long as you can handle like really uncomfortable situations. It is a very strong R rating. Again, do not recommend unless you're an adult. It's a good movie though. I do recommend it. 8 out of 10. And now we're back to Kim Possible. This one I think is it's better than the first movie. It's more of a movie event, still a bit more of a made for TV movie, but still a solid one. It was a cool movie. I recommend it. Again, you don't really watch it unless you watch the show too, because you'll be lost otherwise. 7.5 out of 10 for Kim Possible. So the drama, I don't think I said the first movie's name. Kim Possible, A Stitch in Time. Our 33rd movie so far, Fantastic Four, The First Steps. Genuinely, I did not think I was going to like this movie as much as I did. I don't care about the Fantastic Four, never really had an interest in these heroes. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of them. I watched the first 2000s movies, I believe last year, like Silver Surfer, and then the one before that. They were fine, they were whatever. I was getting to prepare for this movie, sort of, like to kind of get a feel for what they may be doing. This was such a good movie. I enjoyed it all the way. There was a few dumb parts, like I won't say because of spoilers, but for the smartest man in the world, Richards does some genuinely stupid crap sometimes. I'm like, bro, what is going on here? Why are you so dang dumb? But it's still a great movie. I really recommend it. 9 out of 10. Marvel actually cooked here. Obviously, I was on a bit of a Kim Possible kick this year. This was the live-action adaptation. It was interesting to say the least. It just felt like another elongated episode of the show. Like, it was a show that had like a 3-parter or something like that they just kind of made into, like, it was a plot they wrote for the cartoon as a 3-parter, and then like it never got made, and then they just kind of readapted it into a live-action movie. With the casting, like sometimes I feel like this kid, he's from that old show, The Goldbergs. He looks nothing like how Ron should look, I don't think, but he feels very much like Ron. Kim feels almost nothing like how Kim should, honestly. And then Rufus, because he was a CGI rat, they weren't going to use him in a Disney Channel movie all that much, but I mean, he was fine for what he was. I liked it. It was not as egregious as I heard people on the internet say it was, but it was very much it was interesting to see how much they got right and how much they got wrong at the same time. Just like unnecessary changes for the sake of changes. But then other times they would get set pieces like spot on. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Because clearly there was fans among the people who made this. And then other times they would just have like these weird, stupid executive decisions that make no gosh dang sense to change. If you like Kim Possible, I would maybe suggest it. But if you like really love Kim Possible, you'd probably be upset by this more than anything. 6.5 out of 10, I feel is pretty solid. 35. This was the 2015, a decade ago, we got Fantastic Four, which such a stupid logo, but anyways, just a bad movie, man. Like it was just whatever. Nothing happens for like a majority of the film, and then out of nowhere, a lot happens, and it's not an interesting a lot. It just a lot happens. The only really positive thing I can say is that the CGI was really solid, and like I guess it was kind of interesting to watch to an extent. But when I'm watching a superhero movie, I want to watch a superhero movie, not a bunch of freaking nerds debate on what they should be doing. It was incredibly forgettable too. I think I was debating between a 3.5 and a 4 the entire time I was watching it, or after I watched it, but I think I went with a 4 just for the gag. I'm gonna drop it to a 3.5 out of 10. This is a little different. It's technically not a movie. I'm sort of cheating here, but this is 1,000 players simulate civilization. Rich and Poor by Ish here on YouTube. Holy crap. Like, I don't care. I don't watch Minecraft videos. I don't particularly bother. Like, I'm not against watching them. I'll watch like little snippets here and there, or like I'll watch it when it comes up on my shorts feed. But I'm not going to sit here and watch a Minecraft video, especially one that I think was, I don't even remember. I think it was like 3 hours long or something like this. Watch this video. It is worth every second you watch. This was such a freaking good movie. It's just so solid. I don't want to explain too much about it, but the storytelling is phenomenal. This was like a real-time event that occurred. Like, they let this play out in real time. Minecraft players, it was like 500 versus 500 players. One side was rich, one side was poor, and they had to basically just see what would happen within a 7-day time period. And when it all came together, it was just like there was so much drama and politics, not like modern day real world politics, but politics within the Minecraft world of these people. And like, they would reenact scenes just for the sake of getting cinematic shots and stuff like that. But holy crap, this was such a, this is like one of the best videos on the internet. I don't say that lightly. I've watched a lot of crap on the internet. This is one of the best videos you can watch on the internet. I feel like I was doing the 9.5 out of 10 just so I could be a little unbiased. I think sitting over and just watching the fandom grow over this one particular video specifically, not like Ish's stuff. He makes great stuff. I've applied to be in some of his stuff. Haven't made it yet, but we'll see one day. If you have not watched anything, even if you don't like Minecraft, go watch this video. It is genuinely so freaking good. Just watch it. I think I'm going to, because of how much the music, the cinematics, the storytelling, the drama, the characters, so much. I've been like watching the fandom of this one specific video unfold over time. I think I'm gonna it's not particularly fair to let a fandom or outward experiences affect the overall media, I would say, but I'm gonna say it anyways, because I think this is a little different of an experience because it's not a movie per se. It is a movie, but it isn't a movie. 1000 Players Simulate Civilization, Rich and Poor by Ish over on YouTube is a 10 out of 10. Like, go watch this. It is, you gotta watch it. It's so good. Here we go. And I rewatched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the live action. Saw it for like, I don't remember what it was. Was it like the 40th anniversary? It was the 30th or 40th anniversary. I'm brain farting on what it was. It's so funny. I saw it for the 35th anniversary, I believe. I was like, you know what? It's a solid movie, but not my favorite like I did. But rewatching it this time, I was like, I loved it. I was like, what the heck? Why am I so bipolar with some of these movie opinions? It's such a fun movie though. Besides a couple cringy pop culture references that I just don't understand. It's a funny movie. The fighting's great. The robotics and the puppetry is great with the turtles. The cinematography is good. The lighting. You miss movies that look like this. And I didn't even grow up watching movies. Well, I did grow up watching Ninja Turtles. But it's a good movie. Check it out. It's solid. 8 out of 10 for sure. Even if you aren't like a Ninja Turtles fan, I think it's worth a watch. Or if you more prefer modern Ninja Turtles, first off, shame on you. Second off, it's still a very solid movie. Okay, so this is funny. I watched The Batman last year, like the animated 2000s TV show, for the first time. I didn't realize that there was the Batman. I didn't know there was the Batman movie. And it wasn't my favorite thing, but it was good. It had some like horror in it that I wasn't expecting. Not like a full-on horror movie, obviously, but it was interesting enough. I would recommend checking it out. If you like Batman or Dracula or just the two. It's not like a favorite of all time. I'll be real, I don't remember a whole lot about it other than it was edgy. I think I'm gonna drop it to a 6.5 because the more I'm talking about it, the less I remember about it all that much. So we're gonna go to 6.5 out of 10. Not bad by any means. I did watch it pretty late, so I finished it at 3, roughly 3, so yeah. But 6.5 out of 10 for Batman versus Dracula. And then here's my rewatch of Superman. I don't really have a lot to say about it. It was a rewatch, same feelings. It was an 8 out of 10, and we don't need to hang up on that. Zoolander was an interesting experience because it was a stupid movie, but it was a fun stupid movie. Like, stupid isn't inherently bad, I don't think. I enjoyed what I watched. I wouldn't highly recommend it to anyone. I don't like it's kind of a movie you can let be forgotten, but at the same time, it'd be a shame if it was forgotten almost, because it's so silly. I miss when movies weren't afraid to be silly and outlandish and just over the top at the same time. I think it could have just been a little better in some ways. 6.5 out of 10 I feel is pretty solid. So Zoolander, 6.5 out of 10. Ah, man. All right. One of my friends is gonna kill me for this one. He kept just hyping up Blue Beetles like his all-time favorite movie. This dude adores this movie. I watched it with him in VR chat one day, and I just did not care for it. I wish I did. I really like the actor who played Blue Beetle. I love the visuals of Blue Beetle. Some of the comedy was funny. The story was absolute crap. It was just such a nothing movie. I would not recommend it. It felt like something that should have came out in like 2009 or 10, because it felt like it was such an early era of superhero. It should not have come out in the year that it did, with how like outdated it felt. Blue Beetle's fine. It's a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like the only reason I remember anything about it, in all honesty, is because I watched it with friends in VR chat. Otherwise, it would have been a dust in the wind, forgotten movie. And then I think we watched a movie right after this, actually. Like, look, I finished this at 3:50. Okay, no, sorry. No, that's another night. We had a couple nights where we watched a bunch of movies late. Here's Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. I don't have anything of value to say here. Don't watch these movies. They're absolute crap. I literally just remember the beginning, the timing between the movies, the motivations for the characters, the execution of everything, how it all played out. It's just stupid. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's all just bad. Like, it has like a 2000s charm, kind of, but that's it. And I think it may have been even late 2000s. I don't remember when this movie came out. Don't watch it. 3 out of 10 for Ghost Rider. Ooh, okay, The Long Walk. I did not, like, I was looking forward to this movie for a while, and it took me a while to finally be able to go see it. It was such a good time. I recommend it. It's very, very vulgar, very violent. It's a lot of swearing, a lot of very mean-spirited characters. So if you were not able to handle that, don't watch it. For what it is, it's a very good movie. It was cool to watch it play out. Like, you would not think just a movie about people walking would be as entertaining as it is, but they killed it with this movie. If you can handle gore and don't mind the swearing, check it out. Don't watch it if you're below the ages of 18. Good lord, it is not a easy watch. Because it is very upsetting to watch, kind of deal. Like, it didn't upset me, but I know it would upset others. Yeah, I did say the dialogue was a little lazy at times, and then other times it could be very well thought out. Like, it clearly had meaning behind it. But like, I think it was just more to indicate the world that was created here and the characters that were in this world. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, it just felt like kind of lazy writing. But anyways, 8.5 out of 10. I'll keep it. I recommend this movie if you can handle that kind of topic, or that kind of intensity. This movie was even more forgettable than the first one. I didn't care for it at all. Garbage film, 2 out of 10. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, don't even bother. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's like, I genuinely don't understand how the first movie got a sequel. That's how bad it was, kind of deal. Nicolas Cage movies are the best. I mean, if you have like the taste of like a drunk sailor who lost his eyeballs when he was 7, I don't know. Nah, I like some Nicolas Cage movies, just not those. Okay, this one's funny. The Sweet Life of Zack and the Sweet Life movie, Zack and Cody. I hated this movie when it first came out. Despised it. Don't know why. Rewatching it, it's literally just a higher budgeted, better filmed episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, or Sweet Life on Deck specifically. It's a solid movie. I liked it. It was funny. It was goofy. I wish that the cast, I say in the review that I wish they implemented the main cast in a bigger way. It was more of a Zack and Cody movie than a Sweet Life on Deck movie, if that makes sense. Like, I felt like they didn't use Bailey or London or Woody in any like significant ways, or more than they should have. Like, they were used in a significant way, but they weren't a focus, and that's a little disappointing. But granted, this was a Zack and Cody movie technically, especially with the premise at hand. It would have been hard to implement the other characters. It was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it. So I kind of differentiate these because it's a little silly. It's just a stupid rule I make. But for a movie, it's a 6 out of 10. But for a Disney Channel movie, to kind of give it some leeway, I didn't do that for the Kim Possible movies, now that I think about that. Oh well. But for a Disney Channel movie, I think a 7.5. I think I'm gonna push it to an 8, honestly, because I genuinely really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. So yeah, I think 8 out of 10 as a Disney Channel movie, and I guess by default, I think upping it to a 7's a little unfair for a movie. So I'm gonna up it to a 6.5 out of 10 for a movie, and then an 8 out of 10 for a Disney Channel movie. Weapons? I didn't know what I was getting into when I started this movie. Just kind of, we were watching it in VR chat. Someone just, I think I literally just got an invite and they're like, hey, come watch a movie with us. And I'm like, all right, sure, why not? I watched it. I enjoyed it. It was cool to watch it unfold, see the mystery. I really liked how we got to see like different point of views of like how everything happened. That's not like an incredibly new premise anymore. Like I've seen that in other films, but it was well done here. The main character, didn't particularly care for her, but it was fine. I like the ending. The ending was kind of crazy. They left it on a very satisfying way. Dark, and I don't recommend, again, anyone below the age of 18 to watch it, but it was a solid movie. I didn't particularly care. I won't say for spoiler purposes, but I did not care for the means of how it occurred. Like, if that makes sense. I don't, like, if I literally say what causes it to occur, it's a spoiler and I don't want to say. But I don't like what was the cause of the film's events to happen, if that makes sense. That's more so just me not liking that topic than anything else, but that's just me, and I'm sure other people would agree on to an extent. Just be aware of, just look into what you're watching if you're cautious about horror movies, I'll say that. Okay, this is the night that me and a bunch of friends stayed up late to watch a bunch of movies in VR chat, because we finished Weapons up around 1 in the morning. So I was like, all right, well, what are we gonna watch? They want to continue watching movies, and I was like, oh, okay, sure, why not? And then we immediately, I remember it's because a bunch of them were scared, so they want to move on to something a little less intense. So we watched a haunted house. I'm probably not one. I feel like I'm probably the one. Most people will not agree with this opinion here. I didn't like this movie. I thought it was stupid. It was juvenile. It wasn't funny. It was genuinely just cringe. Granted, I don't think I've never found this kind of humor funny to where it's like epic movie humor or scary movie humor or epic the movie humor or like Hunger Games parodies, stupid crap like that. I've never found that funny. Like, I think you can take a premise like this and be creative, but it just wasn't. It felt lazy. It felt cringe. Like, there was a couple silly moments where I'm like, okay, that was funny. But it wasn't like, I never laughed out loud, I don't think. It felt like a slop movie they probably made in like a weekend almost. That's me being a hater. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this because they grew up watching this movie, but I genuinely feel like if they didn't grow up watching this and they had I don't know, I just don't care for these kind of movies. Like, it had a couple silly moments, but it was just whatever. So I'm gonna go to a 2 out of 10 on this one, because I genuinely don't remember anything about it besides a few like moments that made me laugh, or like at least like think about laughing, if that makes sense. Like, it was like, oh, I almost laughed at that, or it's like, oh, that's silly, and it was like, it was whatever. I'm being a hater. These kind of movies just don't age well, in my opinion. So yeah, 2.5 out of 10 for a haunted house. The Tale of, I don't even remember how to say this guy's name. I saw this movie on DVD like around the time it came out. Didn't like it back then either. I tried to take the same approach I did with the first Puss in Boots movie, thinking, oh, I just probably didn't like it because I was younger. No, this movie just sucks. Just kind of across the board. Like, it looks kind of nice. The people are ugly, but I don't think they're not the main focus, so that's understandable. Sorry, I was clicking a pen if you just heard all that sound. I forgot. I'm talking into a mic. It's ugly. The story was boring. The dialogue was terrible. Honestly, I don't know what I was thinking with that 5.5. I was just kind of bored the whole time. I think I've been very like forgiving and pretty stagnant with everything I've said so far. I'm gonna drop this to a 3.5. This movie sucked. I don't know why I was thinking with a 5.5. This is a 3.5 out of 10 for The Tales of Word I Can't Pronounce. This was a fun movie. I had my eye on this one for a while after I saw a trailer for it. Like, I don't even remember how long ago, but I just, like, on a whim, I tried to go see this movie, and then I was just trying to go see it by myself, but I needed someone to take me. So I was like, I asked, and I was like, it just turned to be a family excursion almost. Like, my dad does not watch horror movies. He does not care for them, but my dad and a few other people came with us to go see this movie. I'm just like, what in the world? I just want to go see this movie by myself. But I watched it. It was not my favorite thing in the world, but it was enjoyable. And I think watching the end credits to where they kind of explain the process of how it's created and the mindset they had while making it genuinely helped me appreciate the movie more, because they kind of explained the intent behind what was going on. You don't need to have like a deep understanding of how to pick up underlying tones or stuff like that. Like if you've taken like a 7th grade English class, you can probably pick up on the story. It was cool to watch it unfold, because you're watching this horror movie is from the point of view of a dog and his owner living out in the forest. And I won't say anything else after that, because it's very interesting to see what occurs. Good movie though. It's a short one too. I think it's like an hour and 15 minutes or something like that. So it's an easy watch too. I recommend it. Slow burn though. I'll stick to a 7 out of 10 for Good Boy. This is funny. I've never cared for media that takes place in Egypt. It's not a environment I'm all that interested in when it comes to watching movies. It's just whatever, you know. But one of my moderators recommended this to me. I was like, you know what? I'll watch it. So I love Scooby-Doo. First off, I need to get that clear. I love Scooby-Doo. I was thinking, like, I just don't care about Egyptian lore or, like, mummies. I don't care for that topic or whatever. This was such a good movie. It broke away from that Scooby-Doo template that's used a lot. Stuck to what felt like a Scooby-Doo movie. It was funny. It was clever in a lot of ways. Animation was kind of stiff. Nothing, like, phenomenal worth mentioning about it. The songs in it were very boring. Like, I felt like that was a really wet fart aspect of this movie. Like, Scooby-Doo has a lot of bangers, and all 3 of the songs they had in this movie were just like throw away, forget them, don't give a crap about them kind of deal. I'm gonna up it to a 7.5, because I feel like reducing it that low just due to bad songs is a little unfair. And for a Scooby-Doo movie, Scooby-Doo Where's My Mummy is gonna be a 7.5 out of 10 for me. Okay, the Blair Witch Project. I watched this because I had a video in mind for it. I wanted to, but I didn't want to make the video without being aware of what I was watching, or aware of what I was getting into, because I was like, oh, I'll make a I'll make a Halloween video on the Blair Witch Project. Not specifically the movie itself, but a topic that covered the Blair Witch Project. And then I watched the movie and I was like, oh, that kind of sucked. I don't know if I want to do that. And then I did consume the media that was correlated to the Blair Witch Project that I wanted to make the video for. And I was like, that was just so boring. I don't want to bother even trying to. So maybe I will another day, because maybe my opinion will change, because I'm so fickle with this stuff. But as of right now, I could see this being a movie I would fall for if I watched it back then. But now, obviously, you wouldn't. It just wasn't entertaining. I didn't care for the premise, the characters. Like, the acting was okay, and the concept of watching it from the point of view of a camera was cool. But I just did not care all that much. I'm gonna stick that 4 out of 10. I don't know if that's a popular opinion for the Blair Witch Project, but yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I was disappointed in this one. Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo, the Sword and the Scoob. Such a stupid name. Oh wait, is it Sword and the Scoob? Oh, it is And the Scoob. And the Scoob actually sounds really dark now that I think about it. But I was disappointed in this movie because the premise seems kind of silly and fun. And like the way they go about it, I like how the movie ends, but I do not like everything else in between. It was just like, it did not feel like a good Scooby-Doo movie. You could kind of tell this movie came out around the downfall of modern Scooby-Doo, I think. And it's just, I didn't like the way they portrayed certain characters. The writing just wasn't that interesting. Like, it was just kind of whatever. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna drop it to a 3.5 out of 10. I would never revisit this movie. I wouldn't recommend a Scooby fan watch it, or a non-Scooby fan. It's just a whatever movie. It's a 3.5 out of 10 for me. We're nearing the end of our Scooby-Doo watch. This is another one that I thought would have been better, because it was like, oh, it's Halloween themed. I was watching it around Halloween. It was okay. It was just, it was whatever, you know. I didn't really care for it. The music, oh yeah, there was some musical moments in it. It wasn't like full-fledged musical, but it was exciting to see some musical aspects of Scooby-Doo. I wish Scooby-Doo would kind of lean more into the musical aspect every now and then, because like Scooby-Doo does have a lot of banger songs, right? Like everyone loves the What's New Scooby-Doo theme song by Simple Plan, and then there's a few songs here and there in the shows that everyone's just kind of adored over the time. It's fine. I really don't remember a lot about it besides like the carnival aspect, so I'm gonna go to a 5 out of 10 on this one. So yeah, Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King is a 5 out of 10. I was very surprised by this one. I was expecting just a crappy celebrity, like whatever, Scooby-Doo straight to DVD movie. I watched it because it's just been on my backlog for so long. This was such a good Scooby-Doo movie. I'm not even joking. I really liked it. It was so funny. I didn't particularly care for the celebrity. I'm not gonna lie. When I first went and watched it, I thought it was because it had Gordon Ramsay in it, but it has some other guy. I don't even remember his name, to be honest. But it was fun. I would recommend this one if you like Scooby-Doo. I can't go too deep into it, honestly, but I would recommend this one. The pacing and all the characters are so fun. The premise itself is enjoyable. 7.5 out of 10 for sure. If you like Scooby-Doo, or if you don't like Scooby-Doo, watch this one. This one's a good time. Obviously, I was on a Scooby-Doo kick, if you can't tell. I was trying to watch as much Scooby-Doo as I could. Lego Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood. I get on a Scooby-Doo kick every October, or at least I try to, at least. It was whatever, honestly. Like, it didn't even feel like a Lego Scooby-Doo movie. It felt like it could have just been a straight-up Scooby-Doo movie for the most part, and then they started throwing in some more Scooby-Doo aspect, or some more Lego aspects later on. It was fine. It's just whatever, really. Like, it's a middle-of-the-road 5 out of 10. I feel like the coolest part about this movie is that the Blu-ray there's a Blu-ray collector set that comes with a Scooby-Doo minifigure. I think it's a Shaggy or a Scooby-Doo minifigure. I don't remember, but nonetheless, I think that's the coolest part about it. It's whatever. I would not recommend bothering with this movie. It had a kind of interesting plot, but I feel like Scooby-Doo, it's a Lego Scooby-Doo, so it's even more childish than typical Scooby-Doo. I feel like if you can resolve the mystery before you're even halfway through the movie, kind of a wet fart of a mystery. I feel like yeah, sometimes the Scooby-Doo mystery isn't even remotely solvable because like they don't give you enough information to go off of, but sometimes I feel like they give you too much, and this movie was just, it was whatever. It's a 5 out of 10 Scooby-Doo. I'm going too much. Scooby-Doo Haunted Hollywood is a 5 out of 10. I'm going too long about it. Oh my gosh, this is such a good movie right here. Dark Night of the Scarecrow. This is like baby's first horror movie. Like, if you want to get anyone into a horror movie, like, I don't actually show this to children, but I mean, if you want to get someone who's like timid about horror movies, or just is genuinely not well versed in horror movies, and they don't mind older films, this is such a good movie. I really recommend it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I want to tell you the premise. And like, granted, it's an older one, so just be aware if you're sensitive to older sensibilities of how they treat certain characters. Be aware of that. It's not like, well, it is horrid, but it's treated as a horrid thing. They don't like praise it or say it's a good thing that happened. I should clarify. They treat it as an evil act, so it's not glorified. So honestly, it's more of a just watch it. If you like horror movies, and it's not gory at all, that's why I recommend it as a baby's first horror movie, because like they have actions that should be gory and no gore actually occurs from it because it was a straight to TV horror film. I just watch it. Just genuinely watch it. I feel like a 7 out of 10 is me being a little, because I was kind of taking the, oh, I literally said baby's first horror movie. That's funny. I didn't even realize that. You can show this movie to anybody, really. I recommend it. Solid 7 out of 10. I kind of want to go to I'm going to go to a 7.5 out of 10, honestly. 7.5 out of 10 for Dark Night of the Scarecrow. Go watch this. Man, this one absolutely kills me. Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire. I bought the Blu-ray off of eBay because I just want, it's cool to have Scooby-Doo movies on Blu-ray. There's not a whole lot of them out there. So I was like, you know what? It's musical, Scooby-Doo, and it's on Blu-ray. I'm gonna snag it. I snagged it for like $6. It's a bad movie. It sucks. Like, the storytelling's boring, the plot's boring, the characters are boring. There's literally only one good song in it. I kind of like the idea of the vampire going on, But like the mystery got me, kind of, not entirely. Like I kind of picked up on it near the end, but it was fine. It was a 4 out of 10. I think I literally gave it that 0.5 because I liked the song. The worst part is the best song is near the beginning. So it's a 4 out of 10 for Scooby-Doo Music of the Vampire. Don't bother unless you just want to hear the songs, and you can look up the songs elsewhere. So just look up the songs if you want. Never seen a Now You See Me movie before, but Now You See Me, Now You Don't. It's very much one of those movies of, oh, this is a revival of a series that hasn't been around for a long time. We're going to do all the exact things you would expect from us. We're going to have all the exact same cheesy lines. We're going to have the lame way we introduce characters. Just everything you would think from a revival film, they do it here. Granted, I've never seen any of the Now You See Me movies, so I don't fully understand or grasp a lot of these characters or any of the fan service that was in it. But watching it as a first-time experience, I'm like, oh my god, I understand everything that's going on here just because the way you're introducing all this. And I don't even think this series is that old, I don't think. So it's kind of crazy that they're treating it that way. I enjoyed it. The mystery itself was enjoyable, and the special effects were cool. 6 out of 10 is the best I can do, though. Legit, I don't have a lot to say here. It's not a funny movie. The puppetry's great. It's just gross and rude. Don't watch this. I wouldn't even recommend this as an 18 plus. It's just not worth it. It's stupid. The only reason you should even bother watching this is if you are a big fan of puppetry. Other than that, it's just stupid. 5 out of 10 for the Happy Time Murders. Just stupid movie. Man, I'm so disappointed in this one right here. In Your Dreams, it was a Netflix original, and I saw the trailer. Like, the trailer wasn't anything magnificent, but I thought it looked like a fun, silly movie. It was just whatever, man. It was just, I don't know. I feel like I've seen it 100 times over. Even though it was technically an original premise, it wasn't original really at all. I liked the life lesson at the end, but that was kind of it. It's fine, just whatever. Just don't bother. It's a 5 out of 10. There's not a lot to talk about here. See, I would argue right here, Good Fortune. It's genuinely, like, I think it's supposed to be a comedy, but when you're watching a movie and you're not certain if it's supposed to be a comedy or not, you failed as a comedy. It's not funny, like, almost at all. I don't think I laughed once while watching this, but the premise was enjoyable. The premise itself, I liked watching what happened. I wanted to see what happened to these characters. Granted, it wasn't all that original or, like, well done, but I mean, I liked what happened. I think I was being very generous with that 6 out of 10, but I don't want to drop it lower either. And I'm going to drop I'm just going to keep it to a 6 out of 10. I feel like I'm being way too generous with all my ratings. I've kept them all very samey for the most part. This is the same thing with the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This is just a continuation. I don't really have much to say about it. All honesty, it's pretty forgettable. Oh wait, no. This one was so weird because it kept pushing online school so hard. Like I straight up said it was trying to push online school as propaganda. That's not me like exaggerating anything like that. It genuinely felt like they were just constantly talking about how awesome online schooling is, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm being advertised to for some stupid reason? It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It pushed the story forward. That's all. The Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out it's whatever. If you gotta watch it if you want to watch the rest of this series. So watch it if you're watching the series. Otherwise, obviously do not watch this unless you're watching the show. And then same for here. It was even more forgettable, honestly. I mean, it wasn't even no, it wasn't forgettable. I'm looking at what I wrote here just to make sure. I'm trying to not read anything I've written so far for the most part. This is more so just for me, or just for y'all as a visual. It's whatever. It pushes the story forward. It was a fine movie. Like, it was like 3 episodes of the show combined into it wasn't, but that's how it felt like. And just don't watch it unless you've watched the show. Honestly, I see a lot of people hate the animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movies. I hated the first one. I watched it when it first came out. I was like, oh, this sucks butt. What the heck? Why is this so bad? I watched the most recent 3 that came out this year, and they weren't phenomenal movies by any means. They were just okay. I enjoyed them though. Weirdly enough, they made the family far less mean, which is kind of like, is silly to say, because when I was listening to the audiobooks last year of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, these people are just the worst. So I kind of see the thought process humanizing them a little more, because like, one, you're not watching, it's not like a direct diary like the book is. This is more like actual of what is occurring in Greg's life instead of his greatly exaggerated perspective of what's happening, the book show. So it's kind of like, oh, his family's actually pretty tolerable, they're nice, they have sweet moments. So it's a little off-putting, especially if you're a big fan of these. But they're very much just okay. Like, the animation's kind of off-putting because, like, you know, just look at them. But they also have, like, a little bit of charm to them at the same time. So you're kind of half and half on it. I think that 6.5 out of 10 for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roger Rules, the animated one, is pretty solid. And then same here. The Cabin Fever. I get this one. Oh, no, I don't. It's not a Christmas movie you would bother rewatching every year unless you like you really love these for some reason. But it's fine, you know. It's funny, and it's yeah. I don't really have a lot to say. Greg is a bit more of a turd in this one, especially towards Rowley. So there's that, and not a lot to say. 6 out of 10 for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Christmas Cabin Fever. It's weird they turned it specifically so heavy into the Christmas direction, but I kind of get it. It's weird that what's even weirder is, though, that they try to sell this one as a Christmas related one as well, like a heavy Christmas related. And I was like, not really, kind of, but not really. And it's, yeah, not a lot here to say about this one either. Like, they all just kind of mesh together. They're enjoyable. I feel like if these were all like individual like shows, or like this was like one season of a show meshed together, it'd be like a 6.5 out of 10 kind of show. And I don't really have a lot to say here. I'm going to stick to that 6.5 out of 10 for Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Last Straw. Sorry, I'm saying these full titles, but I feel like I need to. And, oh, David, this was a good movie. I've been looking forward to this one all year. Well, honestly, I've been looking forward to it much longer. I've been keeping track of, like, what, because I saw some music released for it years ago. And then the music finally came out. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this music. I know I'm going to love this movie. The movie came out. They did such a good job telling the story, keeping it interesting, keeping it biblical too, which is like, you know, that's hard to do when you're telling a concise story like this sometimes, especially aimed towards children. I think they may have toned it down a little too much, in all honesty. Because, you know, like, I don't think... You probably could have gotten away with a PG rating and upped it a little more. I don't know what it was rated, honestly. But the music was solid. Granted, I'm a little disappointed because there's a Young David series, which is like... It's just it takes this character from the Bible and then just I don't know if it actually tells any biblical stories from it. I think it's just more, you know, Christian-based kids show with Young David. And, like, the music in that, holy crap. I'm brain farting on what it's called, but there's one song in there. Just look it up. It's so freaking good. It's Rhythm of Your Heart. Oh my gosh, I love that one. That's such a great song. The music in this one, not as good as Young David's. I haven't watched Young David. I've just heard the music. But the music in this one, it's while very good. I don't like it when movies like talk a lot in their songs, because I feel like it kind of ruins the flow if you're like listening to it on Spotify or something like that. And that just kills it for me. But it's still very good songs, very catchy, very well written. They feel very Disney, you know? So David is an 8 out of 10. The Muppet Christmas Carol. I've seen this before. Everyone's seen this before. It's a good Muppets movie. It's worth watching it just for the puppetry alone. I love the puppetry. Go and watch the behind the scenes for this movie. It's so cool to see how they did this film. You can tell that this is kind of the era they started kidifying the Muppets a little too much, in my opinion. But it's not like blasphemous to the Muppet name, you know. It's still solid. It's a 7.5 out of 10 for the Muppet Christmas Carol. It's a yearly watch for almost anyone who likes yearly Christmas movies. Number 69 was Zootopia 2. Guys, I loved the first Zootopia movie. Like, it was my favorite movie when it first came out. So I was a little hesitant, you know, modern Disney sucks butt big time. I was worried, they're just gonna absolutely butcher Zootopia 2. I have zero interest in it. I haven't kept up with it at all. And then we saw it, I think we saw it, was it Christmas Day? No, it was the day after Christmas, because we couldn't go Christmas Day because of medical reasons with family. We went the next day. Our family has a yearly tradition of seeing on Christmas Day. We just couldn't that day. Oh my gosh, just such a good movie. I loved it so much. Granted, I think my opinion's been swayed a little more because I've been seeing more and more, like, after I saw this movie, this is literally all I've been seeing on my timeline on every social media platform was just constant Zootopia crap. It was a great movie. I would say it's probably it's either on par, maybe even better than the original. I haven't watched the original in a while. I plan to, but this one was so freaking good. I loved it. I want to watch it again soon. 8.5 out of 10. I'm gonna up it to a 9 out of 10 because I've enjoyed it so much. And I believe that sums up all of our movies. That was I haven't watched as many movies as I would have liked to this year, honestly. Partly because we'll get into it in a little bit as to why that is the case, but it's also just I just didn't watch that many movies. I think I know last year I said I want to watch more unique experiences that weren't tied to franchises or pre-existing media that I've already consumed. Unfortunately, that's not the case, but it's I've enjoyed it, so you know. What you gonna do? I will try to up my game for this 2026 though, and try to watch more. I watched a couple like unassociated pieces of media. Like I didn't watch anything like Good Boy or well, David's technically connected to the Bible, so I guess that doesn't count. But I watched Good Boy, Dogman. I've never watched. Mickey 17. Granted, those are books, but still, like it's new to me. Tropic Thunder is original as far as I'm aware. I'm trying to get out of the like, oh, I'm familiar with this, or like it's a part of a franchise. I'm trying to get better about that. I'm not doing great at it, but I'm doing mildly better at it. Like Air was another one. I like, granted, it was connected to the Walking Dead creator, but you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. I'm gonna try and do better about it. So now we're on to TV shows. I'm gonna be straight up with y'all. A majority of my TV time this year consisted of me trying to watch the Arrowverse, you know, the CW Arrowverse. I've been trying to watch it in chronological order, and I watched a good chunk of it. Like I'm like on season 7 or 8 of the Arrow, and like I would say I was enjoying it, honestly, but I was invested in it to where I kept going. And I was watching in chronological order, but it was like once it got to Supergirl, I was like, oh my god, I want to jump off a cliff and not have Supergirl save me kind of deal. Holy crap, she was driving me nuts. The further I got, I was just like, man, this is tough, and I can tough out some crap TV sometimes. So I didn't watch as much TV shows as I used to, or as I usually do, I should say. I still watched a lot of TV, honestly, but not as much, and that's because, so they're not going to be listed in here, but I watched The Arrow, The Flash, Black Lightning, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl. I think her name was Vixen. Those were animated. They were like little internet shorts, and I think I watched one more. Can't remember. But I didn't put any of them in this list besides one of them, because I haven't completed them, and I don't put it in a list unless I've completed them. I'm still trudging through those. Like I watched a majority of them, and then I just stopped, like a hard stop, like midway through, like the 6th month of the year, and I was just like, I'll pick it up eventually, and I just haven't. I plan to, I just haven't yet. Like that was all I was watching for constantly though, so I'll plan to pick it back up eventually. All right, first show of the year was a real freaking stinker. What If Season 3? God, that show sucked. I don't even know what I was thinking with Season 3 getting a 5 out of 10. I think I was being generous because I like the colors. Like if you remember the final scene, or the final episode with Agent Carter, and all the colors that happened, that show was just garbage across the board. I'm dropping Season 3 to a 4, and I'm dropping the overall show to a 2. Holy crap, I don't remember anything about it. It was just garbage. All that potential, just for the sake of the potential being wasted, it deserves to be put in the 1, but I don't think that's fair. So Season 3 gets a 4, and then overall show gets a 2. Holy crap, that show sucked. Shapes and colors really will entertain one. Yeah, honestly. Okay, see, it's funny. With Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I went into this full-on hater mode. Like, I was ready. Modern Marvel, garbage. Disney Plus animated show, bigger garbage. I'm ready to hate this show to the max. I liked it. It was pretty good. It did a lot of changes I was not a huge fan of. Gosh, I'm really... Why do I speak so similarly? I didn't even straight up read that. I saw a lot, but that's it. But it did a lot of things I was not a huge fan of. But for what it did do, it was still a very entertaining show. I liked where they're going. I want to see more. Granted, I watched this back in I watched it February. So I don't remember a lot of it. I do want to say that, but I did enjoy it. I want to see more. I'm going to drop it to a 7 out of 10 because I don't remember that much. But I mean, that's a little, it's a little unfair for the sake of I did it so late in the, or I watched it so early on in the year. This is Ramna 1.5 season, the remake, the 2024 remake, season 1. I kind of went into this a little blind. Like, I knew a little bit about the original because I saw clips on YouTube, like back in the early days, and you could still watch anime on YouTube. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like this phenomenal show. I gotta stop using phenomenal, but it was enjoyable. I liked it. I don't have a lot to say about it. The plot's silly. The execution of the characters, like the way they react. The art's nice. The animation's fun. The action scenes are cool. There's really just not a lot to have to say about this. It's a fine enough anime. I'm gonna stick to 7.5 out of 10 for it. Supergirl, oh dear lord, absolute garbage show. Like, I'm telling y'all, I have a very high tolerance for terrible media. I can watch some real stinkers. I can watch the most garbage of garbage, and even I couldn't stick it through this. Like, holy crap, it was just long, poorly written, obnoxious, unlikable characters across the board, terrible plot points just slapped in the middle of nowhere, like the feel like they don't belong. I did not. The CGI was good. I like the CGI for a show. I think like 2014, early 2010s CW show had some solid CGI for what it was. Nothing great, but you know, it still looked good for what it was. I just could not bear to sit through more than what I watched. I dropped it at season 2 episode 9. I don't even remember. I've seen more episodes after that, but only because they were connected to future episodes of The Arrow and The Flash, because they had those like Worlds Collide episodes and Legends of Tomorrow. So I saw like a few episodes that like I had to watch to kind of get a grasp of what was going on, like because it was like part 1 of Worlds Collide or part 3 of Worlds Collide, stuff like that. I feel like I gave it that 0.5 strictly for the CGI. I'm gonna drop it to a 1 because I'm just in that hater mode right now. Supergirl sucks. Do not bother watching it. 1 out of 10. Cobra Kai, and now to watch that terrible taste Supergirl left in her mouth. Cobra Kai, it's so corny. I know it is. I understand why some would not enjoy this. I don't care. Well, the season 8 finale, it was predictable. It wasn't all that original or anything. They didn't go anything crazy. The whole show is just such a fun time. It's a 9.5 out of 10. I feel like I'd be disingenuous if I did 10. So 9.5 out of 10. If you want a good show, watch this series, all the seasons. It's such a fun time. Like, it's even better if you watch it with people, so it's funny, I think I watched the first 4 seasons by myself. Like, I would watch it, like on break during college days and stuff like that, and not like, or I'd be watching it in the lunchroom during college class, or not during college classes, but during lunch, when I had lunch during college, and then stuff like that, and then I'd binge a bunch of episodes a night, and then once I caught up, I started watching it with my family in real time. I think those ratings are valid, though. Go watch Cobra Kai. Fair warning, strong R for language. I don't think they're really vulgar in any other sense, but they do swear a lot, so just, it's a little weird. I don't know why they felt the need to do that, other than the fact it's set in California, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, it's a good show, though. More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers. I literally watched this last year and loved it. I rewatched it this year because I got it on Blu-ray for pretty cheap, and I was like, you know what, let's rewatch it. I don't know why I loved it so much the first time. Like, I thought it was so freaking good the first time I watched it. But watching it this year, I'm like, oh, this is kind of dookie. I wouldn't really recommend it. I don't have a lot to say about it. I mean, the relationship is kind of cute, and there's like moments to where I'm like, I enjoyed the dialogue. But other than that, I was like, it's fine. I think that 6 out of 10 is very fitting for what it was. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for More Than a Married Couple, but Not Lovers. I don't think I'll ever bother to rewatch it. If there's a season 2, I won't lie, I probably will watch it. But I don't think there ever will be, so. Alright, I know. Before you bite my head off, I watched this, it was like, I watched it with family because we were unable to leave the house for a day. I don't remember why. We were watching it, we were trying to find something to watch as a family, and we were stuck inside, so my dad just picked this because he recognized Mr. Beast, and basically straight up, we just binged this whole show in one sitting. Like, holy crap, we don't do that as a family. Like, we have not done that since I was a kid, I don't think. And like, I enjoyed it. It like, obviously Mr. Beast knows all about how to, or Jimmy knows all about keeping retention for viewers, making sure nothing's ever boring, all that stuff. It was a fun game show. It was good. Like, he clearly knows what he's doing type deal. Yeah, it's not generic, like, slop YouTube content just with a bigger budget, but it's still a fun time, and I do want to see season 2. And the editing, like I say right here, the editing was top notch. Yeah, I literally say great for retention. Good lord. Yeah, it's worth a watch though. If you like game shows, I don't care for game shows. Not really my kind of thing. As you can tell, I never really put them on this list, but we finished the show in one sitting, so I was like, I gotta. This was a good one. 8.5 out of 10 for Beast Games. This was interesting because I've seen I couldn't specify this because the text limit or the character limit when writing the review, but I've seen season 1 of Buddy System, and I just wasn't a huge fan of it. It was fine, like it just, I loved that it had a story, but it wasn't funny, and it was more cringe than anything. And then season 2, I say right here, it was way funnier, but then it, like, the structure of the story was just thrown out the window to kind of keep the comedy. And to an extent, that's okay. I know most people don't really, they watch Rhett and Link for comedy. They're not sitting there for a deep, thought-provoking story or anything, but I like stories. And I was kind of let down by the story for season 2. It was interesting that they were willing to just, it was like an anthology almost. Like, they were just two people playing two separate characters. They played themselves in season 1, and then season 2 they were completely different people, which was unique, and I liked that. But it was weird. I said here that I was disappointed in the music quality because none of them hit. I think I've changed my mind on that because I still added a couple of their songs to my playlist, and over time I've started to appreciate them a little more. They're still not like some of their best songs because Rhett and Link made some real bangers in the past, but like none of their songs were like 10 out of 10s or anything. But I've started to grow a liking to some of their songs from the show, mainly season 2 more, I believe. I think I'm comfortable with sticking to that 6.5 out of 10. Season 1 was forgettable, but season 2 was far more memorable, funny enough. So I'm going to stick to that 6.5 out of 10 for Rhett and Link's Buddy System. Justice League, I don't have anything to say about it. It's such a great show. I'm at 9.5 out of 10. Even with that young rating, it's just such a great show. It has a couple pacing issues, and I wish it, like I say right here, I wish it was more interconnected. But it's still, just watch it. If you love superheroes, if you love DC at all, watch Justice League. If you somehow are a huge fan of Justice League and animation and you haven't watched Justice League yet, I think I said it. If you're a huge fan of DC and animation and you haven't watched Justice League yet, go watch this. You won't regret it. Same with Unlimited right here, because it's just a continuation. I was unsure if I should separate these two technically, but they were labeled separately online, so I posted them as two separate, but it's just a continuation of the first one. It has a different layout format of how it tells its stories, but it's so good. Watch this one too. Honestly, Justice League Unlimited and Justice League are great. I'm gonna keep them both at 9s, and 9.5 and 9 out of 10. This one physically hurts me, y'all. Daredevil Born Again, I can't tell y'all, this isn't even just due to my, like, I honestly never even thought about it until someone pointed it out. Daredevil was one of my favorite shows, like genuinely like one of my top 10 favorite shows for the longest time. I was excited initially when Disney said they were gonna bring it back, especially with Charlie Cox, and then Born Again happened, and I was just like, oh, what a wet fart to one of the best shows like made since the streaming era, you know? And I was just like, it was just whatever. I didn't care. I'm gonna watch a season 2 because I like Daredevil so much, but I just whatever. Yeah, so that's 6.5 out of 10. I don't have a lot to say there. It's just they better step up their game because freaking Daredevil and the fat guy, I can't remember his name. Daredevil and the fat guy fighting is just so... Wilson Fisk, that's it. I'm excited to see more come from that. I want to see something play out from there. I hope we see more of that. It's still just not a great show. Honestly, I barely remember anything about it besides that stupid bank episode and like a few like key plot points here and there. So I'm gonna do a 6 out of 10 for Daredevil Born Again. While everyone hyped this up a bit, I still really enjoyed it. There's just not a lot to say. It's very, like, it's pretty, it tells a good story. There's a lot to like about what was shown here. I'm That's all I got. I don't have much to say on that one. 7.5 out of 10. This one was a little bit of a shocker. I didn't go into this one. Yeah. Okay, so right here, if you see it, it says like there's like it was good. The premise was interesting, but then it kind of drops a wet fart to where they focus on one of the least interesting characters to kind of drag out some unnecessary drama. It's like they kind of ran out of enough, because if they started the next part of the story, they wouldn't be able to continue it for the rest of that season. So they had to like drag out a part or something like that. It felt like unnaturally awkward, like they were kind of stretch out time for the season or something like that. It was a good anime. I enjoyed it. Not like this like great masterpiece. I'm gonna drop it to a 7 out of 10, I think. I always forget how to say this. Makine, too many losing heroines. I said that terribly wrong. Makine, I don't know. But yeah, it's good. Watch it. Now this right here, Insomniacs After School. I kind of went into this one not knowing much about it, other than seeing someone randomly recommend it online. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to be something up my alley. It was definitely up my alley. This was I don't want to say anything about it. Just go watch it. If you like romance anime at all or slice of life anime, watch this one. I'm going to bump this one up to a 9 out of 10, I think. It's a good one. Go watch it. I had zero interest when I initially heard about this anime, because like it's like everyone overhypes anime. I almost never believe the hype of most shows. Everyone's like, oh, this is a masterpiece, you gotta go watch it. And then I watch it, and it's like a maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8 if we're being generous. It's never like this 10 out of 10 masterpiece that everyone proclaims it to be. Dan to Dan is like right there edging the line of what a 10 out of 10 anime can be. And I'm very excited to see more of it. I've only seen season 1. I reviewed this when season 1 was out. Didn't know season 2 was coming at the time when I watched this. A very strong R rating on this one. Do not watch this with even... it's a very intense anime. Very absurd, just insane concept, and the ideas are crazy, but it's fun. The characters are unique. They tell this story. There's a few moments they kind of drag, and I'm like, I don't care about this, or like this is a little stupid. Like, but I don't think stupid is inherently a bad thing, because it can tell an interesting story, even if it is like absurd and dumb, But they take this stupid concept and very they drag it to a unique experience, and I like in a positive way. I like the characters. I like the blooming romance that we're gonna see. Like, there's no way there's not gonna be a romance between certain characters. It has a lot of everything. I'd recommend this just only if you're an adult. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for certain for Dan to Dan. Turbo Granny makes me laugh so hard. She's insane. A lot of bananas, that's for certain. This one, Hokkaido gals are super adorable. It's I think I describe it best I can right here. It's the 3 C's. It's cliche, it's cheesy, and it's cute. You really don't need much about it. Don't go in expecting a masterpiece. If you just want some sloppy, in a positive way, romance anime, there's kind of like, junk food kind of anime, this is a good one. It's fun. The characters are likable. None of them are all that dynamic or interesting, but I like it. It's worth a watch. It's yeah, I'm debating. Do I want to drop it? I'm trying to remember how much I remember about it. Don't remember the ending, so I think I'm gonna drop it to a 6 out of 10, because I do not remember a lot of it. I just remember enjoying it. 6 out of 10 for Hokkaido gals are super cute. The Walking Dead, Dead City. I love what's going on with the story here. It's really cool to see it happening. It's sad to see how much, like, it's almost a whiplash type effect with how much they take away the style that came from season 1. Like, season 1 had all this flair, cinematic lighting, and like this moody atmosphere that's just kind of stripped completely from season 2. But season 2 tells a much better story, and you want to see what happens next, and you're invested in what's occurring, so it does better in that sense. So I guess the story is more significant than anything else. No, I remember a majority of it, so I'm going to keep that 7.5 out of 10. A lot of people hate on The Walking Dead, and I kind of get it. If you don't, like, I think it's genuinely a stupid opinion to drop a show because your favorite character died. spoiler warnings for anyone who's for some reason just now watching The Walking Dead. Granted, I started watching it in 2020, so when Glenn died, so many people dropped the show. I'm like, bro, you're missing out on such a great show just because Glenn died. No, I hate it when people like tell me that, because like you just dropped it because you didn't want to keep watching it. That's fine. You don't have to keep watching a show, but man, you're missing out on like these spinoffs. They're not like cream of the crop Walking Dead, but they're still incredibly enjoyable, and you can see that they're experimenting and pushing the medium further, and they're trying to do new things, and I just wish people would stop hating on it. And like anytime a new Walking Dead project's announced, they're like, this crap's still going on, and that's all you see is a bunch of hate comments. I'm like, no, The Walking Dead is good if you people just stop having your drone mindset and watch it. It's still a good series. Alright, rant over. Ah man, Squid Game. This one was, I watched all 3 seasons, and I don't know. I was like, I liked season 1. Season 1 was good. Then season 2 happened, and it was fine. It felt very unnecessary. And then season 3, it felt necessary because of season 2, but it wasn't necessary as a whole. And it's just like, I get it. I watched it dubbed. I do need to clarify that. So it's a little unfair to fully grade it on its dialogue and stuff like that. But you know, when sometimes like that's on the translator's end to translate it properly, or you know, make sure it's clear and get good voice actors, and they failed on that horribly in a lot of ways. You're able to look past it at a certain point because the story itself is good enough, but good lord, sometimes it is questionable how some of these people hold jobs, and that's maybe that's a little mean, I don't know, but I think a lot of people would agree. Overall, it was fine. I think it's an incredibly overhyped series. That it does make me want to watch more K-dramas though. Yeah, I'm gonna drop it to a 7 out of 10 because season 2 is kind of like a blank slate for me. I don't remember much about it at all. But 1 and 3 were enjoyable enough. So Squid Game 7 out of 10. This one's fine. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It's a weird premise. It's just, I don't know why I watched it. It was kind of one of those animes where I'm like, oh, I like the cover art. It's got nice colors. I watched it and then I was too deep in to stop at that point. I was like, whatever. Don't watch this. Just don't watch it. It's a 6 out of 10. Yeah, it's self-aware of how cringe it is, and it's still, I don't know. Well, no. Was it self-aware? I don't know, actually. It may not have been self-aware. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. It's fine. I would not I don't think I'd bother with a season 2. I say that, but if I end up watching a season 2 and end up having to say it in a future video of these, pretend you didn't hear me say that. I'm gonna drop it to a 6 out of 10 though, because I don't remember a lot about it other than cringing and finding this character really obnoxious, and this one's I don't remember their names, but that's just for a lot of anime. I'm terrible with names. This one being just really unreasonable in a lot of ways drove me nuts, and then this one was unreasonable in a lot of ways too. And this guy, I hate it when they put characters like this in here, because bro is just a stand-in to kind of push the plot forward, and that's it. Alright, taking too long. 6 out of 10 for the Shunji family. Is it Shinji? I think Shuinji? I'm gonna say the Shunji family children. Oh, Kim Possible. Rewatched all the way through this for the first time in forever. I don't get nostalgic for a lot of shows. Like, I can rewatch like old shows from my childhood and not think anything about it. And I'm like, nah, this show just brings something out of me. I was like, this show's so good. It's such a, it's like, I don't know, it just kind of hits that right there. I just really enjoyed it. I have like a bias towards it, I guess. There's a lot of like, you know, sometimes the plot, you kind of wish that it was more serialized at points, and it does get a little repetitive later on, but it's still an enjoyable show. I would recommend it if you're just wanting something to watch in the background. Heck, it's genuinely funny. The characters are a huge selling point of the show, I think. Just watching them grow, and like the fact that there was a show that was letting these characters grow and not stay stagnant was a lot of fun. Kim Possible is an easy 9 out of 10. I kind of want to push it to a 9.5 out of 10. But I feel like I'd be letting my nostalgia bias in the way there, so I'm going to stick to a 9 out of 10 on that one. I know a lot of people here are going to disagree with me on this. I watched all the way through Archer. didn't know what I was getting into, honestly. I just knew that the guy who voices Bob from Bob's Burgers is the voice of Archer, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. That was literally my thought process, and I liked how it was so experimental in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people hate it when shows get experimental like that, like where they did the space season and the volcano season, and then the I can't say one of the seasons ideas. I enjoyed it. I didn't find it funny particularly. Like there was very few times I laughed out loud throughout the entire binge of the series, but I found it clever. Like I loved when they did callbacks, especially like really far callbacks to where like went from like season 2 all the way up in season 8 kind of deal, or like stuff like that. I was like, I really like it when they were willing to dig deep and make like keep ongoing jokes with the characters and references. It was real written and stuff like that. This is a bit of a weird one. Like they had early, like the first I don't remember how many seasons it was, but they had seasons to where the episodes were like, I think 15 to 20 minutes long, but then they started making the episodes longer, and I think that's kind of when the show started to fall off a little bit, because like they didn't know what to do with some of the time. They felt like they had too much time on their hands almost. You know, that's just kind of how it is. Do not watch this if you were below the age of 21. It's very 18, 21, whatever. I wouldn't even recommend it to people of that age, honestly. It's a vulgar show. It's very vulgar. Maybe even worse than South Park. I didn't realize that going in, but it's a solid show. I'm going to stick to that 7.5 out of 10. This one I dropped. This is what I was talking about. Tying the knot with an Amagami sister. I dropped that season 1, episode 12. There was 24 episodes in a season, I believe. Just a nothing show. So, like, it was fully aware of how predictable, how poorly written, how boring each character was, how the plot was boring, how everything it came across. Like, they knew what they were doing was generic and lame, and yet they still went in and made the whole series. I don't get it. It's like there's so many better shows out there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it got genuinely great after maybe episode 13 is where it really picked up and became good, but I highly doubt it. I don't drop a lot of short animes like this. Usually I can handle, but I don't know. I was dying with this one. Don't bother. It's just garbage. 3 out of 10. I kind of want to drop it to a 2 out of 10 just for the hatred of the game, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little unfair because by default, because I don't remember anything about it besides disliking it, and for the reasons I disliked it, I'm going to drop it to a 2.5 out of 10. Here we go. Assassination Classroom, an all-time classic. I'm going too long, so I'll say it's too reliant on pop culture at times, and I wish it was longer, and I wish it like serialized a little more early on. I really wish they would make something more with it. I want to see more from these characters in this world, but sadly we just haven't. It's an 8 out of 10. I think that still holds up. So yeah, Assassination Classroom, 8 out of 10 for me. I don't have a lot to say here. Kind of the same. I don't need to do a whole rant like I did with Dead City Season 2. I like the premise. I like I like seeing like these characters put in a new environment with new characters, and like I do think the season should have been stretched a little longer because it felt like they just kind of stopped. Like it felt like they ran out of time, and then they had like a random filler episode. I don't mind filler episodes, but when you have a filler episode between a major event occurring and then like not, it's just doing kind of nothing with it. It's a little weird. The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is a 7 out of 10. I'm excited for the final season of it. All right, here we go. I just finished this one, Ramna 1.5 season 2. I mean, I don't have much else. The same thing to be said for season 1. It was enjoyable. I didn't care for the ending that much, but it's just sure, you know, it was solid. It was an enjoyable show. I like the more characters were introduced into it. They brought in more variety. That's about it. Yeah. Okay, so I was saying at the beginning of the video that there was I usually make my review as soon as I finish a season or whatever. I finished this the night before I finished Ramna 1.5, but I forgot to review it because it was like 3 in the morning by the time, and I fell asleep. But then I reviewed it as soon as I finished Ramna 1.5 season 2. Anyways, it was solid. There was a couple episodes I wasn't a huge fan of, like the stupid like reality TV show one and the dance one. The dance one was fine for the most part. It was funny. The reality TV show one was just kind of cringe and annoying. Overall, though, it was cool. It was worth a watch. It was just nice to see more Zootopia after the second movie. I don't have a lot to say about that one. They're good. I'd like to see more, honestly. And then, oh my gosh, I did not think I was gonna go into liking the show as much as I did. I literally just watched it on a whim. It's been on my backlog for ages now. But I was like, I started watching it in Halloween, around Halloween, because I was like, I want to watch something spooky, but I don't want to watch something that'll scare me while it's late at night. So I'm like, Gargoyles kind of fits that vibe. I did not know what I was getting into. Freaking season 1 and season 2 are like so freaking good. Holy crap, those shows are, the whole show is so freaking good until season 3 comes in, and then it's just like, hey, you know, just this masterpiece, we're just gonna drop the ball so miraculously. It's impressive how bad it's got. Like, man, the animation, like, I forgot how good American animation used to look. Holy crap, this show is nice to look at. Until season 3, then it's just like, hey, we gave some toddlers some crayons, and we gave them an hour and a half to make each scene. No, nah. That's a little mean to the animators. I'm sure they had real hard crunch time and stuff like that. But, oh man, if you watch Gargoyles, show is so freaking good. I straight up bought the remastered video game just because how much I liked Gargoyles Season 1 and 2. And I don't even care for retro games like that. And I heard the remake's not even that good. I just bought it because I just really wanted more Gargoyles. Great show. Highly recommend it. I don't have a lot to say. It was kind of weird how they would put so much focus on Goliath here when there was a bunch of other characters. Like, they would have moments to where they would have side characters and stuff like that, where they would occasionally bring them in, but they were like almost like self-inserts for kids. Like, he was the adult in the situation, and then they would have the other side character gargoyles who they would be more childish and stupid, and they would make dumb decisions, and they clearly thought like children sometimes. I will say that it was like, because of that, they used it as a way to kind of be, I don't know if it's fair, but the best way to say is preachy. Because sometimes they would just kind of shove like, hey, this is what we think, but we're going to say it in like a very obvious, like, we're talking to the audience here almost way. Maybe that's a little exaggerative, but like, good Lord, I was like, okay, can you shut up? Get back to the plot. It was annoying, but it wasn't like, it didn't kill the series for me. It happened like, it didn't happen that often. I binged I binged the show, so sometimes it just felt a bit more prevalent. But if I was watching it like on a, like how the show was intended to be consumed, it was like every other week or something like that, it wouldn't be that noticeable. But it was solid. I really recommend it. Such a good show. I enjoyed it. I straight up bought an action figure of Goliath because I liked it so much. I don't rarely ever do that. Here's the final show of the year for me. Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Let me tell you, it took me so long to figure out that there was even more seasons of Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. I didn't realize the format of this show was so funky. Such a weird decision. But it was cool. I liked how it took place in college. Like, you're seeing these characters age in real time, which is cool. Like, they're more mature, they have more responsibilities, they're like handling their lives in different ways. They're all kind of separating, but they're together at the same time. I liked how it was kind of just more of what season 1 had to offer, but in a new environment with new things occurring. It was good. I liked it. Nothing crazy. I think season 1 was better by a lot, but still, I think a 7 out of 10. I just watched this one, so there's no way I'm changing my opinion on this one. And same for Gargoyles. I didn't say that, but 8.5 for Gargoyles. I just finished these two like not long ago at all, so there's no way I'm changing my ratings. So 7 out of 10. And that ends it for TV, y'all. All right, the next few ones are going to be a lot shorter because I had a lot less. Now we're moving on to video games. I said last year that I want to focus on longer experienced video games. I want to stop playing so many short video games. I did not hold up to that thought process. I mean, a little bit I did. You'll see here and there. Like, I started right off the bat with Ultimate Spider-Man on the GameCube. It was a good game. I really enjoyed it. It was something I always wanted to go back to. I always played it at a cousin's house, and I always thought it was so cool, but I wasn't allowed to have it. And then I finally got around to playing it for the first time, and it was good. It wasn't like this, it wasn't as mind-blowing as I thought it would be. I hated the final boss. Good Lord, the final boss was a nightmare. And, but yeah, it was worth a shot. There's not a lot to say here. 7.5 out of 10. Story was good. Gameplay was fun. Yeah, I think it could have been refined a little more. I'd like to see, I almost want to say I'd like to see a remaster, but I don't know if it would benefit from a remaster, really, because it still holds up visually quite well, in my opinion. Like, a re-release would be cool. and then like maybe mod support or something like that, but that's kind of pushing it. So yeah, I'll stick to that 7.5 out of 10 for Ultimate Spider-Man. What the Golf? I played this on my phone. I never play phone games, but like, I mean, why not, you know? It's just a fun little mini game kind of thing. I recommend it if you haven't played it. It's very wacky. It's physics based. It's got a lot going on. There's really not a lot to say. If you just like quirky, goofy puzzle action-y games at the same time, I recommend it. 8 out of 10. I'll stick to that. You can play it on a lot of different platforms. I just played it on the phone because I thought that would be the most convenient way to play it. And I also had Apple Arcade at the time because I had it for Sonic Dream Team, and that was the only reason I had Apple Arcade was so I could play Sonic Dream Team. And I was waiting for the subscription to run its end, and I didn't pay for it. Thank God. I had some free memberships for. I don't remember how I had them, but I had some free memberships. Anyways, 8 out of 10 for What the Golf. Scamper. If you don't know, I made a video on this game. I'll link you up in the top right corner, or however it goes. I'll put a link in the description or something if you want to watch that. This is a pretty fun game. It's more of a. It doesn't really do a lot. Now, granted, I played this and I beat it on January 17th, 2025. I found out a few months ago, as of today. It may have been a little longer than a few months ago, but way after I beat the game, that it got a major overhaul update and it looks so much better and has a ton of new content. So this is an outdated review. I thought it was a forgotten game. I thought it was like, oh, it's not gonna get any updates or attention. It's like it was a one and done kind of game. I didn't realize it was gonna get more content. But it's such a fun game. It's basically gorilla tag movement, if you know, to where you have to move by hitting the ground and you have to run and you have to find a rat friend, get them out of the sewer without the monster who is scouring the sewer trying to kill you in the process. And then there's harder difficulties where you have to like unlock doors to progress. It's a really fun time. Or you have to hit buttons to unlock the door to exit. It's a good game. Very simple though. I don't know what the new update looks like, but I want to check it out sometime. Gunman Clive. This was a 3DS game. I played it on Steam because I got a PC release later on. But it's basically just a Mega Man clone. It's like an hour, maybe 2 hours long. The style's fun. It's very short, simple. Not a lot to say about it. It's a solid Mega Man clone. I recommend it if you like those kind of games. It's an 8 out of 10. Toilet Chronicles. I literally streamed this because I was planning to turn it into a YouTube video. It wasn't really worth bothering with that, to be honest. I realized more people had done it than I thought, and my commentary wasn't funny enough to justify bothering with it. So it was just kind of a stupid game. It was goofy enough. It was fine. I wouldn't recommend bothering with it if you. It was one of those games where you just basically see how things unfold by doing different things to cause it to unfold. It's like maybe a 2-hour game, I think, maybe 3. It's 6 out of 10. For what it was fine. This was a student game. I didn't realize it when I downloaded it, I don't think. I really shouldn't have even reviewed it, honestly, because it was such a short, nothing game. I'm going to drop it to a 5.5, honestly, because it kind of sucked. Even as a student project, I think I was being generous with a 6.5. Don't bother unless you just like the premise of a cute platypus made of bread, I guess. Moldy bread at that. But I don't know. It's been a long time since I've checked it, so maybe it's gotten an update or something like that, or maybe someone expanded upon the concept. But when I played it, it wasn't very good. Don't bother. But if the concept intrigues you, look it up. 5.5 out of 10 for Mold Breaker: Rise of the Loaf. This one was technically my first time playing Silent Hill. I like all the way through, I guess I should say, because technically the first time I played Silent Hill 1 was on the PS1, but then I got lost and never could progress through like the very beginning of the game almost. So I don't know what I was thinking doing Silent Hill 4. I streamed this as well, not on YouTube, on a different platform, but it was a good time. The story was cool, sound design freaking stressful as heck. What was happening, I liked like the creepiness of it all. It could have been a little more clear on what it wanted you to do sometimes, because I would get lost for far too long, and that was kind of obnoxious. But it was good. It's definitely a solid horror game for sure. 7.5 out of 10. That is a I can't say strong R rating, but it's a heavily M-rated game, so just fair warning there. Covers a lot of topics. I think I'm comfortable with 7.5 out of 10 for Silent Hill 4: The Room. I also played it on GOG modded to where it was I got like, well, you know, you don't have to mod it now because GOG added it naturally. Good old games for those who don't know. They added it to where you can play like all the previous cut content. It's now in there natively on GOG. It's cool. A game about digging a hole. I mean, the title alone is pretty straightforward. It's literally just one of those like mindless, like almost like a Roblox kind of game to where you're just mindlessly like upping your numbers, and like I 100%ed it, funny enough. I didn't 100% it when I put this review, but I have 100%ed it since. But it's just a mindless good time sucker, really. I think I beat it at 3 hours or something like that, but now I think I have like 10 in it to kind of tell you how much of a time sucker it is, and you don't even realize it. It's very addicting. It's a fun time, but it's not like something I would like, oh man, you got to play this game. This is just worth the experience. No, it's not. It's a fun time. It's like $5. It's whatever. 7.5 out of 10 for a game about digging a hole. Okay, here we go. I was talking about this earlier. Dead Rising 2 Case Zero. I loved this game when it first came out on the 360. Granted, I didn't own it. I only played the demo, but I played the demo like crazy because I couldn't afford it. But I was just nonstop playing this demo all the time. You know, I think I did eventually get it fully because it was like given away on like Xbox Live Gold or something like that. I'm not 100% certain, but I played it, really enjoyed it. I never beat it though. That's why it doesn't have the replay tag right here, because I never beat it. Playing it now, it's a 6 out of 10. It's like it's very clunky. It's not that it's not that great. The concept is cool. I played it multiple times to get multiple different endings too. So it was just whatever, you know. I wouldn't really recommend it unless you just really want more Dead Rising 2. Other than that, it's a very much forgettable game. You don't have to really worry about. I am sad it's not on PC though natively. It's exclusive to Xbox still. So I came in with this game with a hatred. Like, I don't know what it was, but I just, like, I played it when it first initially came out, despised it. Thought it was just the absolute, like, crap stain across Sonic's underwear, the franchise, like, hardcore. Good lord, what were they thinking? What was Sega, like, what were they injecting into their veins to permit something this awful to come out? And then I gave it a second chance because Sonic Racing Crossworlds was coming out, and I was like, oh, I want to at least play the campaign. And then I played it, and I was like, oh, this is, like, incredibly mediocre. Like, it's not absolute garbage like I despised it to be. It's fine. It's repetitive. There's, like, way too many repeating tracks. They could have at least put a bit more effort into the campaign with animated cutscenes at the very least. It's fine. 5.5 out of 10 I feel is valid. There's not much else. It's not really worth talking about as much as it has to offer. Team Sonic Racing is a 5.5 out of 10. Oh, okay. I've never experienced a Tekken game before. I don't know what took over me. I just wanted to play something short, so I was looking for something short on howlongtobeat.com, and I saw Tekken 7 was like 3 hours long to beat the campaign or something like that. Oh my gosh, this game is so freaking good. It's hard as balls. Oh my god, it is mean. Like, I'm not bad at fighters. I'm not great at them, especially 3D fighters, but I'm not bad at them. This game's freaking mean. It bullies you and stomps your skull into the ground and then spits in your mouth and tells you to cry about it, because holy crap, they're mean. It is fun though. The story mode is so cool. Like, I did not know that a fighting game story mode could go that hard. I want to play Tekken 8 for it just because. It definitely an 8.5 out of 10. I don't really have anything to say about that one, other than even if you're not a big fighting game fan, play the campaign for Tekken 7. If you're not good at fighting games, play it on easy, because I was playing on normal and I got my butt kicked. Okay, it was just one of those stupid promo games that they did. It's a cute idea to where McDonald's is like, oh, it's Grimace's birthday, we'll do a Game Boy Color game just to, you know, bring in the millennials or whatever. It's fine. It's honestly, I think a 6.5 may be a little generous because it wasn't that fun. It wasn't really that it didn't deserve much notoriety, other than, like, if this was just some like random indie game that had no connection to McDonald's, it's not really worth even talking about. So yeah, I'm gonna drop that to a 6 out of 10 for Grimace's birthday. It's fine. It's cool. It's worth looking at. It's just the fact that you can play it on native hardware is a really cool experience. Other than that, 6 out of 10. I don't like 2D games. They're just not really for me. I don't hate them or anything. They're just not how I like to spend my time gaming. Kirby's Return to Dreamland is such a fun time, just across the board. It's very simple. You know what you're getting with a Kirby game like this. but it's so refined and well done. You can't help but have a good time. And then the Magolor's is it Megalores or Megalodor? I think it's Megalore's his epilogue that he has. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun. Like, it's very short and simple, but it's so well crafted. You just can't help have a good time with it. I 100% in Magalore's epilogue, but I didn't 100% the Kirby part. So that's kind of I've never played Return to Dreamland. I always wanted it on the Wii, but I never had anyone to play it with. And then I got it for the Switch, and I just bit the bullet and played it by myself, and it still holds up really well by yourself. So it was worth it. I highly recommend this game, even if you're not a fan of 2D games. It's such a fun time. Was the Grimace Shake last year or this year? I don't remember. 2025 was full. I think it was 2023, Mochi. If you look at the Grimace, icon, it says 2023 at the bottom. I don't blame you for forgetting though. It's been busy. I'm pretty sure anyone who's watching me right now probably knows Sonic Unleashed got a recompilation on PC, and to those who don't know, that basically means that someone took the source of Sonic Unleashed on the Xbox 360, imported it natively to be playable on PC without any emulation, which is insane. So this was my first time fully experiencing the game. I played it on the 360, but I never got to fully play it all the way through. I had little experiences of chunks, and I didn't fully understand what I was doing, so it was kind of this was basically a new Sonic game for me. It was so freaking cool. I enjoyed it a lot. The Werehog stages kind of killed it for me a lot of the times. I didn't hate them like everyone says you would, but some of them, good lord, some of them would take 30-40 minutes. Granted, that's your first playthrough, and you're supposed to kind of get better as you do. The day stages were a ton of fun. Everyone complains about the day night, or getting the sun and moon medals. Literally, that only held me up once, and it held me up for maybe 40 minutes, because I just had to get 7 more sun medals. I never had issues getting all the medals like everyone else. I was oh yeah, I had to spend hours getting all the moon and sun medals. I was no, I just right off the bat, I had no issue with that. I had almost all of them. I only got stopped once because I didn't have 7 sun medals. And then I got them all in 40 minutes. Granted, I did Google a couple of them, and I can see why that would be harder for people back then, because not everyone had as much easy access to Google as I do now, or as others do now. So that's a little bit more understandable. But I mean, even I only Googled 2 of them, and it was ones that were good lord, there's no freaking way you would have any idea they were there. That stupid one, I don't remember the map, but it was in a Japanese-inspired world to where you have to jump off a rail and then hop into this environment that you wouldn't think you'd be able to hop into, and then go backwards, and there's a sun medal right there. What in psychopath thought that was okay? And then there's another one where you have to go off into a corner and then go behind the camera to where you don't think the camera would lead you, and then there's another sun medal there. I think those are the only 2 off the top of my head I can think of. This is a great game, honestly. Having it on PC natively it's such a blessing. That sounds silly, but this game's great. It's so good. I can't wait to see what the modding community does with it. 8.5 out of 10 I think is a very fair rating. Alright, so this one's a little bit of a cheat, because technically I played this game back in 2017, 2018, majority, and then a large chunk of it in 2019. I took very large breaks between it, and then I literally had everything unlocked. Well, not everything. I had over 100 hours in this game, which is insane. I never spend that kind of time in open world games. I have no idea how I had that much time in this game. I don't remember spending that much time in this game. But I looked at my hours when I beat it. I had over 100 hours. I was holy crap! I didn't realize I played this game that much. So basically I hadn't touched it since probably 2019, maybe. Well, no, I touched little bits and pieces here and there for stream, to where I would I'd play for maybe an hour, then get bored and never touch it again, kind of deal, or I wouldn't touch it for a long time again. Well, then I was you know what, I need to beat this game because Tears of the Kingdom's about to come out. So I don't remember if it was about, I think Tears of the Kingdom came out a while ago. No, sorry, my thought process wasn't for Tears of the Kingdom. My thought process was, I need to beat this so I can play Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, because I really wanted to play that, but I knew that you needed the full story of Breath of the Wild. So on a whim, I was playing Breath of the Wild. I was well, not on a whim, sorry. I want to play Age of Calamity, so I'll beat Breath of the Wild first. I load up Breath of the Wild, I'm looking at my quest, and I was I don't want to do any of these. I'm you know what? I'm just gonna book it to Ganon's and see. I didn't have that much loot or anything like that. I'm just gonna book it to Ganon and see if I can get there. I literally beat Ganon in one try. I didn't realize that I was able to beat him at that point. I had all the Guardians, so that wasn't a huge deal or anything like that. But that was where I left off, was where I had all the Guardians. Now I was trying to do side quests, anything like that. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go attack Ganon. I attacked him and killed him effortlessly. I was like, oh, okay. I've been waiting for years now, apparently, to just not defeat Ganon. But I beat him, and so I did that in like maybe an hour or two. And then I've been playing a lot of Age of Calamity. I was trying to beat it before the Switch 2. Oh no, I was playing it on the Switch 2 when I got it because I didn't have Mario Kart 8. Or sorry, I didn't have Mario Kart World because I wasn't dropping $80 for Mario Kart World. So I was playing on my Switch 2 until Donkey Kong Bonanza came out. I was grinding the snot out of Hyrule Warriors. I really enjoyed that game. I haven't beaten it yet though, so it's not on this list, but I've really enjoyed that. Had to take a good break for it, mainly because Bonanza came out, so that was my main focus. I just haven't I haven't beaten it yet, so I'm getting to it. But yeah, I think an 8.5 out of 10. I kind of want to drop it to an 8 out of 10 just because I just do not like open world games. They're not bad or anything. They just overstay their welcome for me, and it makes me not want to play them. I don't think that's genuine for the game that it is. It's an 8.5 out of 10 for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Sorry, I gave y'all like a whole story there. Okay, this is a whatever. It was an April Fool's gift. By the creators of Rivals of Aether. It was a WarioWare clone. It was fine. It had fun art. Nothing really worth mentioning. It's free if you want to check it out. 6.5 out of 10 for what it had to offer. It was like maybe, I think 30 minutes, maybe an hour worth of content. Yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for Dreams of Aether. I don't have anything else to say about it. This one, it was not it was not this like worthwhile 2D platform or anything, but I love the pixel art. The pixel art's so charming about this game. I honestly, if you just like 2D platforming Sonic games, it's a little more platforming heavy because it's on a smaller screen, so they don't have you running that much, but it is fun. It's like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I love the, like, just for the pixel art alone, I think it's worth it. So Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure is a 7.5 out of 10 for me. I don't feel like changing that. I enjoyed it. Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Guys, I don't think I like Monkey Ball anymore. I used to love Monkey Ball, but every time I've tried to play Monkey Ball, any modern rendition, I do not enjoy it. Like, the stages were too easy, they weren't fun. They got a little more challenging near the end, but I was just like, I was tired of it. I just wanted to end it. I was just trying my best to beat the game at that point. I wouldn't bother. Maybe it's fun with multiplayer still, but I don't know if I like Monkey Ball anymore. I hope I'm wrong and they just come out with a really killer Monkey Ball game. But the way Sega does all the DLC for these games, it just leaves a gross taste in my mouth that doesn't make me want to play them anymore. I'm gonna drop it to a 6 out of 10 for Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Man, guys, Haste is a time sucker. This game, so what I did while playing Haste, story's very throwaway. Don't even bother with the story. It's so generic indie game. I hate to say this, but it's almost mean to say, but it's indie game slop, really. Like, I don't care about the story in the slightest. So whatever. Haste was the gameplay was fun. I feel like the power-ups could have been more significant. I feel like they didn't have enough oomph to them to make them feel that... It kind of felt like the stat boosters to where you see numbers go up rather than you feel your character change all that much. And I think it could have benefited from more items like that. But I would just sit here and play this game for hours on end listening to creepcasts. Good lord, I'd listen to so much creepcasts while playing this game. I think I have like 15, 20 hours on this game, I think. Not 100% certain on that one, but I think so. Yeah, but 7.5 out of 10 I think is a good feel for this game. I enjoyed it, and the modding community is really built up over time. Sonic fans love this game, so it is a lot of fun. It is mean. It is hard. Now that I have heard they've added difficulty sliders since then, since I've touched it. And maybe that's not the case anymore. It's probably more evenly distributed, but it was a tough game at first. 7.5 out of 10 for Haste. Alright, so it's funny. I got this game when it first came out, like around when it first came out for my birthday. And then I played a chunk of it, and then I just didn't touch it for a really long time. And then, like, I believe the Switch 2 was coming out. And then I was like, alright, so I gotta play this a bunch. So I played it. I was trying to beat it before the Switch 2 came out, so I was playing it a bunch. I beat it. I mean, I'm, again, not a huge fan of 2D platformers, but for what it was, easily one of the best Mario platformers in well over a decade. It's got so much charm. Graphically, it's pretty. The platforming's unique. I think it's a little too easy, and I think that's kind of dull. But for what is on Showcase here, it's a good time. It has so much creativity, and I am excited to see what more they can do with Mario here. Dang, that was my 20th game this year. I beat it in May 16th. Super Mario Wonder is an 8.5 out of 10. I don't really have anything else to change about that. A lot of these are going to stay very samey, I think, because a lot of my games don't change. I kind of have a general idea of how I feel about them for the most part. Good lord, Princess Peach Showtime. I'm about to just completely evaporate what I just said there. Princess Peach Showtime, absolute garbage. It's an insult to like even as a younger audience, it's insulting to how bad it is. It's just not a fun time. It plays like crap. It's not interesting. It doesn't really do anything of value. It feels like you're just kind of doing it to do it. I did not really enjoy what I was doing at all. And you know, for a game that's very clearly marketed towards girls, it has almost no customization features, or any valuable cosmetics at all. Like I said, pitiful cosmetic selection. Like, how are you gonna aim a game towards girls and then not have like crazy cosmetics for the character? Like, come on, what the heck? They were so weak and boring. I'm gonna drop this to a 2.5 out of 10. I just did not like this game. It was just, and I also hate the box art, because what the crap? Like, they changed her face from the normal Peach to ugly movie Peach, and I hate that. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying that one, but I don't care. 2.5 out of, was it a 2 or 2.5? I'm gonna say 2.5 because I feel like a 2 is too cruel. 2.5 out of 10 for Princess Peach Showtime. Holy crap. Dementium the Ward HD, this is a remake of a DS game that I played on the Switch. I actually streamed this one as well, where it was a it was okay. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not this fantastic game, but it's more just a cool novelty, and I enjoyed it for that novelty. It controls really funkily, like it's hard, and it was lacking a lot of quality of life features. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I do want to play the sequel eventually. I have this HD sequel on PC. I don't think it was released anywhere else, and I think I have the sequel on physical DS hardware as well, actually. I know I for sure have the first one in DS hardware. It's a solid horror game for what it is. Like, I mean, once you kind of get a feel for it, you don't really get scared that much anymore. But if you're like, when I was streaming it, I wasn't really scared at all. But when I was playing it by myself, I would get a little tense and like tighten up sometimes playing it. It's fun, it's short, it's cool concept and like idea more than it is a solid game. I'm gonna stick with my 6 out of 10 for Dementium the Ward HD. I remember this stream and us with the dang dirty toilet. Yeah, the thick piss toilet. Would make sense, right? Did someone just like vomit or like crap themselves on the way to the toilet? Like, they were leaking so bad, they were just squirting one out as they were rushing to the toilet and then missed the toilet. Look at that. That toilet's clean compared to the ground. They splattered all over the place. Here, there, they got some really thick piss. Sonic Rivals on the PSP. Man, I remember wanting to play this for so long growing up. I was like, oh man, I don't have a PSP. I won't be able to experience this game. That sucks. But I finally got the chance. I think I was better off not experiencing it. It's a pretty lazy, sloppily crap together game that's just kind of whatever. If this was not coated in a Sonic layer of paint, would not touch this game for more than 5 minutes. I'd load it up, try and play it, and I'm like, oh, this is straight dookie. But because I had Sonic on the cover and they would sometimes talk with really lazy, boring dialogue, I liked it, kind of, not really. It was fine. I think I'm gonna drop it to a 4 out of 10. I think that 0.5 was my Sonic bias coming in, so 4 out of 10 for Sonic Rivals. On to game 24, Crash Bandicoot. So this was Crash Bandicoot 1, not the entirety of Insane Trilogy. I couldn't find a proper cover art for this one, so I kind of had to cheese it a little bit. But this was the first Crash Bandicoot game in the Insane Trilogy. Honestly, for a first-time game in that era of like kind of learning 3D platformers still, it was solid. I liked it. It was a little unfair in some parts, but I genuinely don't think I would have been able to progress past that one iconic bridge segment if it wasn't for the fact that I've seen people throughout the years, like just watching YouTube and stuff, hop on the bridge lines. If I didn't know about that, I probably would have never progressed. It was fine. I didn't really have a lot to say. Some of the collision was a little annoying. I didn't care for a lot of the bosses. They were fine, I guess, but nothing special. I think my 7.5 is good. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's a good 3D platformer. If you want to fight it and kind of struggle with one of the early 3D platformers with good graphics, you know, play it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure Crash Bandicoot, the Insane Trilogy specifically, is like very easy to run on. Like almost any piece of hardware can run it almost. Like obviously not like a freaking Dell laptop from 2003 or anything, but I mean like any modern piece of hardware can run the Insane Trilogy pretty easily, so it's cool. I'm gonna keep a 7.5 for Crash Bandicoot 1 in the Insane Trilogy. There's a whole story with this game. I've been trying to play this game with one friend for so freaking long. I have bought this game 3 separate times for him in the attempt to get, like, for 3 separate consoles. I bought it for the 360, the Xbox One. Okay, sorry, 2 consoles, not 3. And I offered to buy it for him on the Nintendo Switch. And every time we never played it. Every freaking time we would get to a certain point and then we would just stop playing it and we just never bothered to pick it up. I'm still in regular, well, not regular, but I'm in still contact with this guy and it kills me. So I just gave up. I'm like, you know what? I've been trying to play this game for well over a decade with this guy, and I got another friend to play with me. Me and him blasted through it on stream. It's such a good game. Like, it's so solid. I get why people don't like Resident Evil 5 because it's such a turn from the main franchise. Well, it is the main franchise still, but from the original franchise, like 1 through 3. And it's still kind of in line with 4, but it's so drastically different. I can see why people wouldn't like it. And it's bad by yourself, but with a co-op partner, it's so fun. It's so much fun that me and him are currently playing through Resident Evil 6 on stream as well. You can see I actually have a playlist of me and him playing it, Cyclonic Boy. You can check that out in the live section or in the playlist. Actually, I may link that as well, who knows. But yeah, Resident Evil 5 is a great experience with co-op. The horror elements are a little lacking in comparison to obviously the previous ones, but it's still worth it. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it if you can get someone to play it with. 8.5 out of 10. I am not changing my opinions on a lot of these games, or a lot of the media I've watched this year. A lot of my opinions are staying pretty similar compared to previous years, I think. This one was a surprise. I did not know I was going to enjoy Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 as much as I did. I remember very vividly hating Season 1 of Minecraft Story Mode. Thought it was absolute crap. Even when it first came out, I was like, man, this is garbage. What the heck? Why did they make this? This is such a disappointment. And then I got super lucky. I got a Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 physically on the Switch for like $15 or something like that at GameStop. I was like, that's an insane deal, because if you don't know, I'm pretty sure that's like over $100 around the time of this video coming out. I was like, that's crazy. I have to pick that up. And I was like explicitly telling the employees, like, I made sure after I bought it, I'm like, yeah, this is insanely underpriced and stuff like that. So I went home and played it. And I was like, okay, this game kicks butt. This is such a good, like, this is probably, like, I don't know. I was like, it's one of the most well optimized Telltale games, I would say. Like, it doesn't feel glitchy, or it feels tighter than most of them. Like, it was just I really enjoyed it. I really recommend Season 2 if you can find a way to play it. It's delisted across the board as of this video, but if you can find a way to play it, it's a really solid one. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my 8.5 out of 10 for Minecraft Story Mode Season 2. This one is I'm so disappointed in this one, because I played this when it first came out on the Xbox 360, and I loved it. I didn't play the full game. I had the demo, and I played the demo like crazy. I thought it was so freaking good. I don't know what I was thinking, because I hated it when I was playing it this time. Like, oh my gosh, I was just mad the entire time I was playing it, because it was so unfair. The hitboxes were funky as heck. Some of the visuals, it was fine, but it felt pretty mediocre. Maybe it looks better on a CRT. Maybe that's why I remember it looking better, because I played it on an old CRT when this came out. It was like, yeah, it has style, but style only carries you so far. I'm gonna drop it to a 5 out of 10, because really it was just, the more I think about it, it just frustrated me more than I enjoyed it. So yeah, Double Dragon Neon's a 5 out of 10. Aw, man, Tori Saturn, this one's such a disappointing thing to hear about, because I got to talk to the developer. He posted a post online somewhere, I don't remember which platform. He posted somewhere that, like, this game was just it failed across the board. I'm like, bro, what? Tori Saturn? He got freaking... Oh, that's a spoiler. I'll probably cut or bleep that out. Tori Saturn was just a complete failure, financially speaking. Granted, like, every Tori game previously was 99 cents, and this one was so much more ambitious that the developer felt the need to up it to $5 instead, which, like, that's not a huge ask. And for what was on offer here, this game was easily worth $5. Holy crap, this guy put in so much effort, so many little Easter eggs. Granted, the main game was really heavy in that, and then, like, you had unlockables and stuff. The unlockables, they were kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. They were kind of letdowns. They felt like they were very shoved in there. They didn't feel refined or anything like that. But you know, just having the ability to unlock stuff is always fun. The gameplay itself is super solid. You can take it out in like an hour or two. I 100%ed this game, and I 100%ed it in under 2.5 hours. See, I didn't even realize that. It was a lot of fun. I won't say exactly what it is, but like just getting to the final stage of this game, if you are a Sonic fan, you will absolutely love what the developer puts in this game. I'm telling you, if you love Sonic, it is like a mind-blowing experience kind of deal. You would not see coming 100 miles away. It was so freaking cool. And the fact that this game did so poorly is so frustrating. I highly recommend this game. I'm pretty sure it's on the PC and Switch. This is not sponsored, by the way. It's just frustrating to see solid games do so poorly. It's Tori Saturn is an 8.5 out of 10 for sure. Everhood 2, I'm so like, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it. The story was fine. It kind of had the like, oh, we're pretentious, but we're not pretentious kind of feel to it. It was easier than the first game. Maybe that's just because I got better at the format because I was so used to the first game, but I haven't played the first game since like 2020 or 2021 at least. So it is interesting, but I don't know. It was cool. It was a fun game. It's 8 out of 10. Don't really have a lot to say. I feel like the story was just trying too hard to be an indie story, if that makes sense. Maybe that's just me being a hater, I don't know. But 8 out of 10 is still a great game. I'd recommend it. There's multiple endings too, I believe, so I got a pretty solid ending, but it stretched itself for sure. This is a little different. This is specifically the DLC for Kirby in the Forgotten Land, the Star Cross World, not the full game of Kirby in the Forgotten Land exactly. I still enjoyed it. It wasn't like this phenomenal experience. Like Kirby in the Forgotten Land's like top 5 Switch games kind of deal. So Star Cross World, it was fine. They charged way too much for it. I don't think they should have charged nowhere near as much as they should. Like Nintendo is, someone needs to knock them off their high horse kind of deal. We need Wii U levels of desperate Nintendo to come back. You know, maybe that's a little harsh, but still. It was good. It was a fine experience. The final boss was really cool. I liked what they had to offer. It just was not enough for the price. I do need to go back and 100% it. I haven't done that yet. I'm gonna drop it to a 7 out of 10. I want to give it an 8, honestly, because of how good it was, but that price just hurts it so much. And the more greedy I see Nintendo be, the more it makes me want to punish them. So that sounds weird, but it's a 7 out of 10 for Kirby and the Forgotten Lands Star Cross World DLC. Good lord, that's a mouthful. It's kind of sad to see this be such a wet fart. I can't tell you how hyped I was when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 came out. I think it was like 2020, 2021, around those lines. I was so freaking hyped for that. I love that game. And then 3+4 came out. And then, like, by default, that's not inherently bad, because it's literally just more of 1+2. But the thing is, they just completely scalped 4 of a lot of its identity. And then they also, like, good lord, the culture that this game has, I'm not involved in skater culture. I want to make that clear. I'm not in that world, so I don't know what it's like in modern times. The skate culture that came from, it felt like there was some punk rockness going on here. This feels like the most sanitized, boring corporate version of punk there is, like this ugly, boring skater culture that's clearly does not feel like it should. Like I used in the ugly corpo Californication. Ooh, that sounds like a weird phrase. But the California, yeah, this word really hurts its just visual. Like the gameplay feels great, but when it just like all the characters are kind of ugly. They lock DLC characters that would have easily have been in the base game behind a paywall, which is incredibly scummy. Or pre-order bonus, which is even lamer, which I think you can buy later, but it's even more expensive. Not 100% certain in that one. It was just like the visual and the music was weaker too. Like I feel like I did not hear almost any bangers from this one. Granted, most of my experience from the early Tony Hawks were from 1 and 2. I played 3 and 4, but I preferred 1 and 2 with the early ones. So maybe it was just a matter of me not identifying a lot of the songs as much, but I feel like the song choices weren't as strong, and I was just like, I didn't care for it. It just felt weaker. I've spent all this time complaining about it, but it still plays solid. A lot of the levels are really good. I'm going to drop it to a 6.5. Sorry, a 6 out of 10. I feel like that half was, I don't know. I feel like I don't think that's fair. 6.5 out of 10. I feel like that's a fair rating for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4. See, this was a nice little hidden gem. I actually streamed the entirety of this game. You can find it here on YouTube. Kim Possible, What's the Switch? You would like, oh, it's a TV show tie-in game. It's gonna be absolute garbage. No one's gonna put any effort into that. It's just slapped together for the kids or whatever. No, this was a fun, solid 2D platformer. It's a little unfair in some mechanics, and it's you know, it's an older 2D platformer, so by default it's gonna be a little funky. I enjoyed it a lot. I would recommend this if you're a Kim Possible fan. I don't know if I would recommend it outside of that, but I think it'd still be worth it, probably. I'd be surprised if like you couldn't find some enjoyment from it. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for Kim Possible, What's the Switch? See, they need to re-release this on the Switch, and they can literally call it Kim Possible, What's the Switch 2, and then they can put the sequel on the Switch 2. I'm just saying, the money's right there, Disney. Okay, this is another game I streamed over here on YouTube. Terrible game, just awful. It's so bad, it's dumb, it's a waste of time. I literally did not expect myself to sit there and play through it all the way like I did. Couldn't bring myself to escape it. I think it's nostalgia. I think that's the only reason I give it a 3 out of 10. I should probably drop it to a 1.5 out of 10, honestly. It's not a good game. I'm dropping it to a 1.5 out of 10. Beyblade Super Tournament on the GameCube. It may be a GameCube exclusive, but there's a good reason for it. No one else wanted it. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius is another just crappy mess of a game. It's a 3D platformer that I streamed this on YouTube as well, actually. All of these have been streamed on YouTube so far. The last 3, I mean. It's I think the most fun I had with this game was making the thumbnail for it more than playing the actual game, because oh my gosh. Unfair, messy, sloppy, ugly as sin. Oh my gosh, just a nightmare to look at. Don't bother playing it. It's very repetitive and just, yeah, it's a 3 out of 10. I think the only fun you'll have, like, yeah, don't even bother if you're a fan or not a fan. Don't bother. 3 out of 10. Donald Duck Going Quackers. I 100%ed this one. Streamed it as well. You can find it. You can find it here on YouTube. I'll try and link all these if I can. Donald Duck Going Quackers on the Dreamcast. There's so many variations of this game, by the way. I think there's like 3 different variations of this game. Like there's the PS2, the GameCube, or the PS2, the Dreamcast, and the PS1 version. Each one is different from each other, I believe. But I was told that off the research I did, I tried to do which one was the best one, and a lot of people said the Dreamcast one was the best one. Some would argue the GameCube one or the PS2 one. GameCube one as well. I think it's the same as the PS2 one. I went with the Dreamcast one because I just did, and it's a solid like Crash Bandicoot clone. It's short. You can clear it pretty quickly. I mean, there's not a lot. The bosses sucked. I did not enjoy the bosses. There's just really not a lot to say about it. It's good if you like Donald Duck. There's some heart to it. It's a nice looking game. Just experience it if you want. It's up to you. I would recommend it if you can if you can figure out how to play it. How do I feel? I 100%ed it, so I think that 7.5 can stay. I'd bother to 100% it. It's easy to 100%, granted, but still, like, 7.5 out of 10 for Donald Duck Going Quackers. So this is funny. I played Balloon Kid on my, I don't know if I can say that, actually. I played Balloon Kid with touch controls. It's just the best way to put it. And the way I played it with touch controls, you would think would make it a lot harder, and it kind of did. But it's kind of it's a fun game. Like it's tough. It's definitely unforgiving at times. The physics are pretty solid though. Like I understood them, got a grasp of them. The level design was, like you could tell that they play tested it like crazy to get it as tight as they could. I didn't like a lot of the bosses. The bosses felt kind of crappy. Like, they just weren't inspired or really worth... Like, if I would have skipped them, I would have. Like, I mean, if I could have. I don't know. Like, I didn't dislike the game, but it wasn't, like, this phenomenal experience either. I gotta stop saying that word. I'm gonna... I don't know. I kind of want to bump it to a 7, though, because it is a good game, but... Can I really put it on the same level as Donald Duck Going Quackers, or at least in the same bracket? Alright, I'll say it like this. For a Game Boy game, it's a 7 out of 10. For a game in itself, it's like a 6 out of 10. It's fun though. If you just want like some arcadey crap to play on the go, I recommend it. I do recommend a controller though, because it's easier. So yeah, Balloon Kid's all right. Dead to Rights, this game's so stupid. It's just crap. It's like slop crap that you could come up on the Steam store. It's not good, but it's kind of fun to play because I played it on a PS. It's on the PSP, right? And it's like this is something you would find on Steam that someone made in like a couple hours as a tech demo because it's incredibly short. I'm gonna drop it to a 5 out of 10 because it's not good. I do like the ambition it had good lord, I like the ambition it had to offer for what it was, but it's just not. Ambition can only take you so far. So 5 out of 10 for Dead to Rights Reckoning. It's very Scooby-Doo. Like it's kind of impressive how well they were able to put Scooby-Doo on an N64 cartridge, because like it had the vibes, the graphics, the look of everything, but it was like a nasty bad point and click game almost, but you had to walk around yourself with very little clues on what to do or how to progress. And it was more just me being like bored and uninterested in what was happening. And if it was if it did not have the IP connected to it, there'd be zero interest in continuing it unless you just like looking at decent N64 environments, I guess. So like if we took away the Scooby-Doo IP entirely though, dropping it to a 3 out of 10. And yeah, here's a bunch of Christmas games now. Based off of Tim Allen's The Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause, you know, who doesn't want to play a video game? Like there's just not enough video games to where you can play as Tim Allen, you know, everyone's favorite Santa Claus. And honestly, it's not terrible. It's a mediocre 2D platformer. Based off the media that it's based off of though, you would think it'd be horrid, right? But it's very much like, I could see this being like a game that a kid wants to revisit back in the day, at least, every Christmas, you know, like this is a cool, I love Santa and stuff like that. And it was fine, you know, it was goofy. You got to play as Tim Allen, who doesn't love that. I'll stick to my 5 out of 10. This one was pretty recent, so yeah, it's a 5 out of 10. Oh man. Cave Stories, Secret Santa. If you have, this is a great game to revisit at least every other couple Christmases, because it's just so charming. The music, the environments, the gameplay, well, simple, it's effective. It gets you in that Christmas mood. It's like Metal Gear-y, kind of. Not really, it's just more mildly stealth. There's not much Metal Gear involved at all. But it's stealthy, and you get to just kind of sneak around and put Christmas presents under the tree without being caught, and that's fun. And I love, if you just love Cave Story, if you don't know Cave Story, first off, go play the original Cave Story. This is a spin-off, a free spin-off at that. It's only on the Japanese Switch and on PC though, to where you're in the Cave Story universe and you're playing you're being like Santa for everybody in the village. But if you haven't played OG Cave Story, go play that. It's so good. Oh, right here, this is another game that I played. I streamed this with Cyclonic Boy. It was specifically the co-op, not the entirety of Portal 2, like the single player campaign. It was just the co-op. Such a fun time. We had a good time. You can watch the whole, I have a playlist for it if you want to watch it. We enjoyed it. 8.5. There's not a lot to say. Everyone knows Portal 2. If you haven't played Portal 2, what are you doing? Get a friend, go play Portal 2 co-op. And play the single player campaign. That one's great too. I would argue even better, honestly. You got to make sure you're playing it with someone you get along with and know how to play games though, because good lord, it'll be frustrating otherwise. 8.5 out of 10. This game sucks. The Polar Express on the GameCube, it sucks butt. It's big time garbage. It is not as much garbage as everyone makes it out to be. I've seen people say this is like the worst game on the GameCube, absolute atrocity that should not exist. It's fine. It takes some experimentation. It takes ideas that you think wouldn't work, and it kind of works. But the thing is, it spends all this time on its experimentation and then doesn't refine what the game is. It's also just not very Christmassy like you'd expect it to be. It's just kind of dull in that sense. Like, you would think it to be like, you know, covered with tinsel and lights and elves, and there's like no, like even in the North Pole, like you're in the North Pole's factory near the end of the game, and it's like it feels like a dead, like very very bland, soulless corporate factory where there's presents coming out of it, and it's just kind of funny. I'm like, what? Why is this game so soulless? But it's really not as much of a nightmare as some people make it out to be. 3 out of 10 for the Polar Express. Oh, here we go. Die Hard, everyone's favorite Christmas movie. No, this was a solid arcade game though. I remember playing this at a pizza restaurant all the time with a family member. We could never beat it because it's so freaking punishing. It's hard as crap. We played it a ton. Never got to beat it ourselves, but I finally got to beat it this year by myself, playing it on the Sega Saturn version. It's pretty kick butt. It's a good game. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like arcade beat 'em ups that much, honestly, but it was cool. The quick time events I thought were fun. Like, it was interesting to see how they implemented that. Granted, like, you have to kind of memorize them because some of them would come way too early on. I'm like, holy crap, you're throwing all this at me way too fast. So you have to kind of like play it multiple times to fully grasp it. It's good though. It's worth a playthrough if you like arcade beat 'em ups. It's stylistically, graphically, not really a lot to say there. 7 out of 10. I think that's solid for Die Hard Arcade. I streamed all of this as well, actually. You can find that on YouTube. I enjoyed this game greatly, actually. Like, you would not expect the Muppets Monster Adventure of all things to be a solid gameplay experience, but no, it's a good game, like a genuinely good game that is worth playing. So I played a majority of this. I obviously played this during October for Spooky Month, but then I was like, oh, I'll 100% it, but I just couldn't bring myself to 100% it like I intended to. I got everything collected, but then it wanted you to basically play through the entire game twice to kill all the enemies as well, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not bothering. I got all the collectibles, but I wasn't gonna, like, and you didn't have to just kill every enemy. You had to kill like a certain amount of enemies, I believe. It was just ridiculous. I was like, it's an unnecessary grind to basically just unlock like meaningless concept art and like little images and sound bits and stuff. And like, that's cool if you really want to play this game, but I wasn't into that. So I like held off because I was like, oh, I'll 100% it. But the more I played it, I was like, nah, I'm just gonna say I beat it. So that's why I posted it on December 8th that I beat it. There was kind of like that delay in that sense. I technically beat it on whatever day the last stream was, but there was a bit more playthrough of me, like, and I was like, nah, I'm not bothering 100% after I played it for a while. It's just not a game that I was really looking forward to doing that in. I technically 100% in it, besides that stupid enemy disqualifier. It's a good game though. It's a little clunky at times, but I recommend it. Even without the Muppet IP, it's a good 3D platformer. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10 is good, I would say. And that is all of the video games. I played 44 video games this year, 2 full completion. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of them were short. I didn't do what I wanted when I wanted to like elongate my amount of games, like stop spending so much time on these little short experiences and play some more bigger, beefier games. But honestly, I do like a lot of the games I did play, and there was a lot of stinkers too. Granted, I knew they were stinkers because I played them because they were stinkers, but still, you know, it's like, you know, it's good to have like, you should always play some bad games on occasion so you can truly appreciate the good games too, you know? That's my mindset. Because you can't truly experience, you don't know what a good game is until you know what a truly bad game is. That's the thought process there. We're on to books and podcasts. This is going to be the shortest one here because I'll be real, I wasn't in school this year, so I didn't read jack squat. I didn't listen to jack squat. The only thing I listened to basically throughout this entire year was Creepcast. I technically should have put it in this thread, but I've missed a couple episodes. I wanted to do it when I was fully caught up and I had every episode listened to, but I haven't listened to every episode yet. But yeah, and obviously it's still an active going show as of this video, so I haven't had the chance to put it in there technically, but I'm just going to do it in the sense that I'm caught up. It's still one of my favorite podcasts. I just love horror stories. It's a very R-rated podcast though. Wendigoon is not particularly inappropriate. He has his moments, but Papa Meat's the one that makes it R-rated. And then the topics they discuss and the stories they read are very R-rated. So don't listen to that unless you're an adult. So books and podcasts, it's very straightforward. Like I said earlier, my vision is kind of prevents me from reading a lot. So anytime I will clarify whether it was read or audiobooks just for the sake of clarity. And I think you'll be able to tell based off of just right off the bat what's what. So starting off, I'm gonna just be, this was a book that I found in a collection I had a long while ago. It's a goofy kids book. It retells the first episode of an old cartoon. It tries to tell a lesson really crappily at that. It just doesn't do well. The art's fine enough. I think it's appealing. It's fun to look at. The pictures are nice. It's nostalgic in a way. I actually have never read this, but I know the book that it's based off of. I think we got it from like a church or something a really long time ago, something like that. It's fine. Don't bother with it at all. Other than like looking at the pictures on it, it's not even worth acknowledging past that. And then right here, This was from my old collection as well. Club Penguin Comics, man. It's an iconic, I mean, I loved any of the physical Club Penguin books. I would try and get as many as I could because Club Penguin's goated, right? It's a bunch of cheesy, basically pun and or slapstick centric humor. It's stupid. It's like dumb web comics that you can flip through in like 15 minutes, but I enjoyed it. They're fun. I want more volumes if there are more. I need to hunt them down. We'll have to say it's a 6 out of 10. I don't know if I said it, but this one's a 4 out of 10. There's no need to deduct or add points to either of these. And here we go. All right, so this is I finished this one recently. See the huge time jump between these. I read my last book in September 1st, and then my most recent one was December 29th. This was Carrie, like Stephen King's Carrie kind of deal. I didn't really know what I was going into. The only thing I knew about Carrie is the iconic blood bucket at the prom scene. That's what I knew, and that was it. It was definitely weirder than I expected. Not particularly good or interesting, in all honesty. I did not care about the characters. I thought a lot of the characters were stupid. The format was a little funky. Granted, I was listening to the audiobook, so maybe the format's a little more understanding physically looking at it, but when it's being read to you, it's a little hard to grasp at times who's talking and what's being said, and when it transitions to a new scene or a new moment is occurring. So I got a little lost here and there. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. It was clunky. The premise wasn't that interesting. There's some things I want to say that just wouldn't fly with about how the way things were handled with Stephen King's thought process. I've been told that the first movie is far better than anything else, and don't bother with any of the new movies. So maybe my opinion will change if I see the movie. Yeah, it's a 6 out of 10. It's fine. I didn't think it was all that well written. It had good dialogue for the most part. That's it. 6 out of 10 for Carrie. And then final book as a stupid children's book. It was like this weird, like, fake pseudo origin story for Sonic. Like, clearly, like, before they had a true origin for Sonic. I really don't know. I think it's like an introduction to the Archie comics, but before they had a solidified Archie comics origin as well. It had like some goofy charm to it, I guess, mainly nostalgia based. I've read this as a kid, and I rebought a copy off of eBay not too long ago just because I wanted it. My old copy was like torn up really bad, so it's bad dialogue, lazy writing, very cheap, clearly meant for like slap together for kids who don't understand what's bad and what's good. So, like, straight up, some of the art, like, there was this one scene to where, like, a huge chunk of Mobius was roboticized by Eggman to where they got turned into robots, and then the picture they show for it is just a bunch of, like, it's supposed to be this big scene to where, like, everyone got roboticized, look, and then, like, you look and it's just a bunch of Mobians who don't look like they're roboticized at all. And, like, they forgot to roboticize them in the picture, and, like, that was stupid. It's, like, literally the only thing that's carrying this was the nostalgia, and obviously, like, it's a stupid kid's book, so, like, I can't judge it too harshly, but that 4.5 is me being generous with it. It's probably like a 2 realistically, but I'm gonna keep that 4.5 out of 10 for Sonic the Hedgehog by, I guess, I don't remember who the author is, honestly. You can find it easily if you Google it. I couldn't see it on the art, I couldn't see it on the book. And that is everything, y'all. That is every piece of media that I have consumed through the year 2025. I feel more of what I said last year. I just want to cover more variety in what I do. I really need to consume more books in general. I need to cover more of the Bible, that's for sure. I don't know if I would do like the Bible as like a one enormous book, or if I should do like individual books. I'd probably do it as one enormous book realistically. I just want to cover more topics and less things I'm familiar with. Like, I don't want to just watch franchises and IPs I already know and like play games of characters I already know. I want to experience these new things. I just have a habit of going to what I'm familiar with, you know? So one of these days I'll break free from that. Who knows though? That's all I really have to say, though. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching through the end like this. Holy crap. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. That does me a huge favor right there. Helps the channel grow. Leave a like. And if you leave a comment down below, I want to hear what some of the media you watched through 2025, some of your favorites, favorite game, favorite movie, show. It doesn't have to be from the era or from the year. It can be from, you know, just whenever. I mean, obviously mine were all over the place when it came to when it came out. I just want to hear some of your favorite stuff. Give me some recommendations or what you thought of what I watched and played, because I know a lot of my opinions don't tend to be they don't seem to gel with a lot of people typically. But yeah, I think that's it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.